Beloved, you are not waiting for proof that divine law works. You are the proof. You are the living evidence that unseen forces are always at work, weaving perfection through every detail of your life. Every breath you take, every heartbeat that moves through you, every answered prayer that seemed to arrive just in time. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the universe whispering, "See, my child, the law works, always perfectly, unshakably." Say softly, "I am the evidence that divine law works. Every part of my life is divine order made visible. I live in the proof of God's perfect timing." The world may tell you that proof comes after results. But in divine law, proof begins with belief. You do not wait to see before you believe. You believe, and then you see. Faith is the blueprint, life is the reflection. When your mind holds truth, and your heart holds peace, your world aligns accordingly. You have already experienced this, even if you did not know it. The moment you worried, and your worry created delay, that was the law at work. The moment you trusted, and doors opened effortlessly, that too was the law at work. It does not sleep, it does not pause, it simply mirrors the vibration you carry. Say softly, "The law of the universe never fails me. It responds to my faith with abundance. It responds to my peace with miracles. Divine law is not a mystery. It is precision. Just as gravity does not decide whom to serve, divine law does not decide whom to bless. It works through every person, every word, every feeling. When you think in harmony, you receive harmony. When you speak with faith, you attract faith's fulfillment. When you bless your life blesses you back. You are not an exception to the law. You are the expression of it. You are divine intelligence clothed in human form, learning to use the creative power that has always belonged to you. When you speak, creation listens. When you believe, energy aligns. When you act in faith, heaven confirms it. Say softly, "Divine law expresses through me effortlessly. My faith activates the unseen. My peace is the proof that the law is working." Beloved, most people search for evidence outside themselves. They look for signs in the sky, numbers on the clock, sudden miracles that prove they are blessed. But the highest proof is you. You woke up this morning. You have survived storms you thought would break you. You have received help at the exact moment you needed it. That is not luck. That is law in motion. The law of divine compensation, the law of circulation, the law of faith. They are always present, always responding. The question is never, "Is the law working?" The question is, "Am I working with it or against it?" Say softly, "I work in harmony with divine law. I trust its perfection. I rest in its timing." The truth is, divine law does not fail. People simply forget their power within it. They speak words of lack and wonder why they see shortage. They think thoughts of fear and ask why peace seems distant. But every moment, the law is proving itself through their experience. Beloved, awareness is mastery. When you remember that every emotion is a command, every thought is a creation, and every word is a seed, you stop living by reaction and start living by revelation. You move from confusion to clarity, from struggle to flow. Say softly, "My awareness is my evidence. My calm is my confirmation. My joy is my testimony." The greatest demonstration of divine law is not sudden wealth or instant healing. It is the quiet transformation within you. When your heart softens instead of hardens, when your spirit chooses peace over panic, when you walk in trust instead of tension, that is divine law rewriting your life from the inside out. And soon, the outer world catches up. Situations shift, doors open, people change. Not because you begged for it, but because you became it. Say softly, "I am the living reflection of divine order. Everything in my life unfolds through perfect law. The universe confirms my faith daily. Beloved, remember this eternal truth. You are not separate from divine law. You are its manifestation. You are its proof, its evidence, its living success story. And every time you choose love instead of fear, every time you bless instead of complain, every time you believe instead of doubt, you strengthen the bridge between heaven and earth. Say softly, one final decree for this section. I am the evidence that divine law works. I walk as peace. I speak as faith. I live as proof. Everything in my world bears witness that God's law is perfect, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is. Beloved, divine law never stops. It never sleeps. It never waits for your permission to work, because it is the rhythm of creation itself. From the rising of the sun to the beating of your heart, from the orbit of planets to the flow of breath, everything is governed by law. And that same law moves through your life, responding to your words, mirroring your faith, reflecting your vibration, whether you are aware of it or not. Say softly, divine law works perfectly through me. Even when I forget, it remembers. Even when I doubt, it holds me. Just as gravity does not turn off when you sleep, divine law does not turn off when you fear. It continues, patiently translating your inner world into outer results. It takes the tone of your thoughts and sculpts it into circumstance. It takes the shape of your emotion and paints it across your reality. You cannot escape it, beloved, because you are part of it. You are made of the same divine substance that moves galaxies. You are not separate from law. You are its living expression. Say softly, I am one with the divine order of life. I am never outside the flow of creation. I live within the perfection of divine law. The moment you speak a word, the law begins to arrange matter around that word. When you say, I can't. When you say, I can, the law obeys. When you say, it's hard, it shows you hardness. When you say, it's easy, it softens the path. Because divine law does not judge, it simply responds. Say softly, the law responds to my faith. The law multiplies my peace. The law manifests my belief. Many souls wonder why their prayers seem unanswered, but the truth is, no prayer is ever unheard. Every thought, every feeling, every affirmation is a seed planted in spiritual soil. And like all seeds, it grows according to its nature. A seed of fear produces more fear. A seed of joy produces joy. A seed of faith produces miracles. Beloved, the harvest always matches the seed, not because the law is unfair, but because the law is precise. It cannot give you what you do not vibrate. It cannot deliver abundance through the voice of worry. It cannot bring harmony while your words create resistance. Say softly, I plant only thoughts of love. I water them with faith. I harvest miracles in divine timing. Divine law is not personal, it is universal. It doesn't favor one person over another. It favors faith. It doesn't measure worthiness. It measures vibration. And what you believe yourself to be, you must inevitably see. Beloved, this is the sacred beauty of it all. You are never at the mercy of chance. You are never a victim of circumstance. You are always working with a law that listens, reflects, and fulfills. Say softly, the law and I are one. I speak and it answers. I believe and it becomes. Even when things seem uncertain, even when your prayers appear delayed, the law is still active. Aligning details, rearranging energy, moving through unseen corridors to bring you what is right, not rushed. You may not always see it, but you are always living inside it. Your entire existence is divine law in motion, the manifestation of thought and vibration turning into experience. Say softly, everything in my life unfolds through perfect law. Even what I don't understand is working for my good. Beloved, the law is impartial but deeply loving. It simply mirrors what continually impress upon it. That means your greatest power lies in awareness. Once you become conscious of how it operates, you can begin to use it intentionally, not to fight life, but to flow with it. When you understand the law, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start declaring, "What is this teaching me to align with?" Say softly, "I align with divine cause. I think with divine mind. I live under divine law." You can't turn the law off, but you can rise above its lower expressions. For instance, the law of fear attracts fear, but the law of faith overrides it. The law of complaint creates more to complain about, but the law of gratitude cancels it instantly. You don't destroy law. Just as an airplane does not destroy gravity, it uses a higher law of lift. So it is with the soul. You rise above lack through generosity, above fear through love, above chaos through calm. Say softly, "I rise above limitation by living in faith. I use higher laws of love and gratitude. I soar in divine alignment." Beloved, this is the mastery Florence taught. You are never helpless because you are never lawless. Every moment you breathe, the law listens. Every emotion you release, the law registers. Every word you speak, the law begins to build upon. That is why awareness is your greatest wealth. When you know the law, you stop repeating old patterns unconsciously. You become the author, not the actor, the director, not the bystander. You begin to use life as it was meant to be used, as a mirror of your divine authority. Say softly, "I am awake to divine law. I am aware of my creative power. I am responsible for the energy I release." Even those who do not know this truth still live within it. That is why it is said, ignorance of the law is no excuse. It continues to operate through them, only now unconsciously. But the awakened soul knows, if my outer life displeases me, I need only change the inner cause. So you no longer blame people or fate. You bless them, release them, and shift your vibration. Because everything that happens is simply law showing you your frequency. And the moment you elevate that frequency, your entire world must follow. Say softly, "My vibration is my command. My peace is my protection. My alignment is my evidence." Beloved, divine law is your most loyal companion. It does not abandon. It does not falter. It does not forget. It works through you, for you, and as you. And when you begin to trust that, you live in peace even before the manifestation arrives. Because you know, the law never misses. It never fails. It only fulfills. Say softly, one final decree. The law is working now. The law is always working. I am the living proof of its perfection. I am the evidence that divine law never fails, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is, beloved. There is a moment in every soul's journey when prayer must evolve. When asking turns into knowing. When hoping turns into having. When waiting turns into being. The universe does not respond to pleading. It responds to certainty. It does not answer the cry of desperation. It answers the calm vibration of faith. When you know, you no longer chase. When you know, you no longer question. When you know, the law moves instantly. Because belief is its language. Say softly, "I no longer ask in fear. I know in faith. It is already done." Every time you say, "I hope this works," you are telling the universe that you doubt it will. Every time you say, "Please make this happen," you are telling divine law that it is not yet so. But when you say, "Thank you, it's already mine," you speak the vibration of completion, and heaven rushes to confirm your decree. Faith begins where asking ends. The moment you stop reaching outward and start believing inward, the universe says, "Now you are ready." Say softly, "I no longer chase what is mine. I stand still in faith and receive." Beloved, asking is a stage of awakening, but knowing is mastery. The child asks for what they want. The mature soul declares what already is. The child looks for proof. The master becomes the proof. And you, beloved, are called now to be the master. Divine law has never required begging, only belief. It does not need long prayers, only clear ones. It does not need emotional pleading, only inner peace. Because in divine law, everything belongs to you is already stored in spirit, waiting for your vibration to match it. Say softly, my desires already exist in the invisible. They are now appearing through divine order. I believe, therefore I receive. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn called faith a spiritual substance. It is not empty hope. It is invisible matter. Faith is energy concentrated so cleanly that it becomes form. When you know, you magnetize that invisible energy into your experience. But when you ask in fear, you push it away. It's like telling the universe, I don't have it, and I might never get it. And the universe, being precise and obedient, mirrors that back. Beloved, stop confirming lack with your words. Stop asking for what you already have. Instead, declare, it is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled in divine order. The moment you speak those words with conviction, you align your consciousness with divine completion. And all things begin to move toward that fulfillment. When you know that divine law works, you no longer need to check on it. You no longer ask, when will it come? You simply prepare for its arrival. You behave as if it's already yours, because spiritually, it is. Say softly, I live in the vibration of having. I think from completion, not from need. Everything I desire is already in motion. Beloved, this is the greatest secret of manifestation. You do not manifest by wanting. You manifest by being. You must become the vibration of your desire. You must act as if the prayer is already answered. And you must speak as if the universe already heard you. Because it did. When you think and feel from the end, you call that end into the present. You create a bridge between the unseen and the seen, and your knowing becomes the magnet that draws it near. Say softly, I think from the end. I feel the completion that is done. The soul that knows does not rush. The soul that knows does not worry. The soul that knows simply aligns, breathes, and gives thanks. Because peace is the proof of knowing. When you are calm, it means the law has already begun its work. You cannot see the roots growing underground, but they are growing still. You cannot see the miracle forming in the unseen, but it is forming now. Say softly, though I do not see it yet, I know it is near. The law works beyond my sight, but never beyond my faith. Beloved, knowing does not mean controlling. It means trusting the intelligence behind the process. You are not the manufacturer of miracles. You are the witness of them. Divine law performs, your job is to believe. Faith opens the gate, doubt locks it. When you pray, don't speak from lack, speak from completion. Say not, God, please give me, but, thank you, God, that it is already done. That one shift, from pleading to praising, turns vibration into manifestation. Say softly, I thank before I receive. I celebrate before it appears. I know and therefore it must be. Beloved, knowing is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is recognizing that you are one with the creative force that governs all. You are not demanding from the universe. You are agreeing with it. You are saying, yes, I accept what already belongs to me. This is how miracles move quickly. Through calm acceptance, not loud insistence. When you stand in your spiritual authority, the law bows to your vibration. Say softly, I no longer ask as one unworthy. I declare as one divine. I am one with the source of all good. The difference between asking and knowing is the difference between delay and flow. When you ask, you imply it's missing. When you know, you confirm it's here. And divine law always matches your confirmation. You have asked enough. Now you must declare. You have wished enough. Now, You must witness. Say softly, I am the witness of divine fulfillment. I am the evidence that the law answers every call. It is done. It is finished. It is complete. Beloved, this is how miracles become natural. Not through begging, but through being. Not through trying, but through trusting. Not through worry, but through worship. Worship the truth that divine law is perfect and cannot fail. Say softly, one final decree for this section. I no longer live in asking. I live in knowing. What is nigh is already done. What I desire is already given. What I affirm becomes visible, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is. Beloved, life is not a problem to be solved. It is a mirror to be understood. Every experience you have ever faced, every person who has crossed your path, every moment that has repeated again and again, all of it is the universe showing you you. What you see is not what is there. It is who you are. The outer world is the reflection of your inner atmosphere. When your heart is at peace, your world glows with harmony. When your mind is fearful, your reality trembles in confusion. The mirror of life does not judge, it simply reflects. Say softly, my world reflects my faith. My life mirrors my belief. I only see what I am ready to see. You can change your mirror only by changing your reflection. No one wipes a mirror at the face. They change the face itself. Yet so many souls polish the outer glass. They fix, they chase, they control, not realizing that the cause always within. If your relationships are cold, ask not who stopped loving you. Ask where you stopped loving yourself. If money feels scarce, ask not where it is hiding. Ask whether you have declared yourself worthy of it. If peace feels distant, ask not what the world has done. Ask what thoughts you have fed your spirit. Say softly, As within so without. As I believe, so I experience. As I love, so I receive. Beloved, this is the law of reflection, the silent sculptor of every human life. The mirror does not lie. It cannot lie. It is pure divine law in motion, showing you your vibration in living color. Every time you say, nothing ever works out for me, the mirror echoes, so be it. Every time you say, everything flows easily, the mirror replies, and so it shall. You are the cause, your world is the effect. You are the painter, life is your canvas. You are the musician, creation is your instrument. Say softly, I take full ownership of my vibration. I create from harmony, not habit. I am the cause of my peace. Most people live as reflections of others, reacting to what they see. But the awakened soul reverses the current. Instead of reacting to life, they radiate to life. They send out love where there is bitterness. They send out forgive if there is pain. They send out abundance where there is fear. And the mirror, loyal and faithful, must return that new image. Beloved, you are never a victim of reflection, you are the artist of it. You can repaint your world with every new thought, every new word, every new emotion. Each shift within ripples through the mirror instantly. It may take a moment for the outer form to rearrange, but once the vibration changes, the picture must follow. Say softly, my inner world creates my outer reality. When I shift, my world shifts. When I rise, my life rises. This is why judging others never serves you. Because you are looking into yourself. When you see lack in another, you activate lack within. When you bless another, you multiply blessing for both. The mirror works both ways. Whatever you project must return, magnified, clarified, sanctified. Say softly, I see only the divine in others. I bless every reflection of myself. I release all judgment and live in love. Beloved, when you understand that reality is a mirror, you no longer take things personally. You no longer fight against life. You listen to it. If conflict appears, it means something within you seeks peace. If delay appears, It means something within you still doubts divine timing. If abundance flows easily, it means your vibration matches divine generosity. The mirror is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. Say softly, I listen to life as my spiritual teacher. Every reflection is revelation. Every challenge is correction. You see, the law of reflection is not punishment. It is mercy. It gives you the chance to see yourself and choose again. Every repeated situation is grace in disguise, saying, will you now choose differently? And the moment you do, the picture changes. The soul that understands this no longer fears external things. They stop saying, I'll be happy when this changes, and start saying, this will change because I am happy now. That is the voice of power, the sound of creation in human form. Say softly, nothing external controls me. I am the vibration behind every visible thing. My peace directs my life. Beloved, look at your world with spiritual eyes. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Say, what belief is this showing me? That one shift transforms the mirror into a map, a sacred guide showing you where your soul needs alignment. Once you find the belief, you can police it and replace it with truth. When you believe, I am unloved, the mirror shows rejection. Replace it with, I am love itself. When you mirror changes to affection. When you believe, I am poor, the mirror shows struggle. Replace it with, I am the source of my abundance, and prosperity begins to flow. Say softly, I rewrite my beliefs with divine truth. I see abundance. I feel abundance. I live abundance. The mirror reflects my faith. Beloved, do not fear the reflection, use it. When you see darkness, bring light. When you see chaos, bring gratitude. And soon the mirror will not only reflect you, it will magnify you. Remember, every time you rise in consciousness, your reflection brightens. You no longer live from reaction, you live from revelation. You no longer fight the image, you become the artist behind it. Say softly, I am not my reflection. I am the light that creates it. I am not my past. I am the truth that transcends it. I am divine awareness shaping divine. Foreign beloved, when you finally see your world shine with peace, you will realize that nothing outside ever needed fixing. It was always an inner adjustment. A shift from fear to faith, from complaint to gratitude, from doubt to knowing. Say softly, one final decree for this section. My life is the mirror of my consciousness. I choose love, and love reflects back. I choose peace, and peace surrounds me. I am the evidence that divine law reflects perfection, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is. Beloved, gratitude is not the result of manifestation. It is the cause. Gratitude is not the celebration after receiving. It is the vibration that brings receiving forth. To give thanks before the harvest is faith. To give thanks before the door opens is mastery. And to live in gratitude always is to live in divine proof. Say softly, I give thanks before I see. I celebrate before I receive. My gratitude is my proof that the law is working. Every time you say, thank you, you align with divine intelligence. Every time you appreciate what you have, you multiply it. Every time you bless what seems small, you open the gate for something greater. Because gratitude is not emotion, it is energy. It is the purest frequency of completion. When you are grateful, you declare to the universe, it is already done. You speak the language of divine fulfillment. You are saying, I trust the process. I trust the timing. I trust the law. Say softly, I am grateful for what I see and what I do not see yet. I am thankful for answered prayers still unfolding. Gratitude opens every door for me. Beloved, gratitude is the atmosphere of miracles. No soul can remain in complaint and expect divine results. For the law responds not to your words, but to your vibration. If you speak thanks but feel worry, your words are hollow. But if you whisper thanks with peace in your heart, even before the manifestation arrives, the heavens themselves begin to move in your favor. When you say, "Thank you for the abundance I have not seen yet," you step into the unseen, where the real creation happens. You shift from the physical to the spiritual, from effort to ease, from waiting to receiving. Say softly, "I give thanks now, for everything now. Gratitude is my bridge from the invisible to the visible. I live in the vibration of completion." Gratitude turns delay into divine timing. It turns challenge into teaching. It turns loss into blessing. For what you bless, you heal. And what you curse, you multiply in pain. Bless it all, beloved. The confusion, the waiting, the breakthrough, the lesson. Every part of it has been working for you. Say softly, "I bless my past for shaping me. I bless my present for sustaining me. I bless my future for fulfilling me." You see, gratitude and faith are twins. They walk hand in hand. Faith says, "It is done." Gratitude says, "Thank you that it's done." Together, they activate the entire universe. They speak the only language the law understands: assurance. When you are grateful, fear loses its grip, worry fades, and peace takes its rightful place. Because you cannot be thankful and fearful at the same time. One cancels the other. Gratitude is the antidote to fear, the medicine for doubt, and the key that unlocks every door of delay. Say softly, "Gratitude dissolves all resistance. My thanks creates instant alignment. I receive because I am grateful." Beloved, look around you. Even now, the evidence of grace surrounds you. The air you breathe, the roof that covers you, the strength that still carries you. Each is a miracle you once prayed for. Gratitude reminds you that you are already living an answered prayer. When you give thanks for what you have, you prepare for what is next. When you celebrate the small, you qualify for the great. For the universe never expands in the presence of complaint, but it multiplies infinitely the presence of gratitude. Say softly, "Thank you for what I have. Thank you for what is coming. Thank you for what has passed. All of it serves my divine good." Beloved, gratitude is faith made visible. It is how the soul confirms to heaven, "I trust you completely." You cannot fake gratitude. It must rise from knowing. When you truly believe that divine law never fails, you cannot help but feel grateful, even for the process itself. Even the unanswered prayers carry grace. Even the detours lead to destiny. Even the pauses are divine preparation. Gratitude sees beyond the moment and declares, "This too is love. This too is working for me." Say softly, "I am thankful in every season. Even in silence, I hear the blessings forming. Even in stillness, I feel abundance growing." When you live in this vibration, you move from proving to flowing, from chasing to attracting. Gratitude becomes your silent signal to the universe. A frequency that says, "Said more like this." And the law, ever faithful, answers, "Yes, and even more shall be added." Beloved, gratitude does not wait for the ending. It honors the beginning. It praises before the performance. It celebrates before the arrival. It thanks God in the hallway, not just when the door opens. That is divine maturity. Say softly, "I am grateful while I wait. I am grateful while it forms. I am grateful because it is already done in spirit." A gratitude transforms your aura into a magnet. People feel it. Opportunities sense it. Abundance recognizes it. Your energy says, "I am complete." And completion always attracts completion. The soul that is grateful lacks nothing, because gratitude is wealth. Gratitude is abundance. Gratitude is divine proof. Say softly, "My gratitude is my greatest wealth. I am rich in peace, rich in love, rich in divine timing. Everything I bless multiplies before my eyes." Beloved, Let gratitude become your constant prayer. Let it flow through your thoughts before you speak. Let it rise from your heart before you act. Let it fill your home, your relationships, your work, your rest. Because where gratitude lives, grace abides. Say softly, one final decree for this section: gratitude is my frequency. Gratitude is my faith. Gratitude is my proof. All that is mine is already given, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is. Beloved, the highest form of faith is not in words, it is in embodiment. To live as the proof of divine law means to walk through each day as though heaven is already within you. It means to wake up with quiet confidence, to meet challenges with calm assurance, to speak truth softly yet with power. When you embody divine law, you no longer need to convince anyone. Your peace speaks for you. Your calm becomes your evidence. Your joy becomes your testimony. Your life becomes a sermon without words. Say softly, I am the living proof of divine law. My peace proves that God is present. My success proves that faith never fails. Beloved, embodiment means harmony between thought, word, and action. It means your thoughts align with your faith, your words align with your truth, and your actions align with divine timing. When these three are one, nothing can fall apart. Because you are anchored in law. The outer world bends to the inner vibration. So when you live from divine alignment, everything around you begins to take shape in order, precision, and grace. Say softly, my inner world is calm, therefore my outer world flows. My thoughts are rooted in truth, therefore my results are divine. To live as the proof means to embody the qualities of the divine itself: stillness, faith, gratitude, forgiveness, generosity, and joy. Each moment you choose these, you are writing proof into your life. Every act of kindness is proof that love rules your world. Every calm reaction is proof that you live above fear. Every generous decision is proof that abundance flows through you. Beloved, divine law does not ask for perfection. It asks for practice. Each thought, each word, each response is a sacred opportunity to demonstrate what you believe. You cannot say, I live in divine order, and then rush in panic. You cannot say, I am divinely provided for, and then speak of lack. You cannot say, I trust the process, and then fight against its timing. The proof is not in what you say once. It is in what you choose daily. Say softly, I am consistent in faith. I walk my talk. My energy matches my declarations. Beloved, when you truly embody divine law, you do not worry about appearances. You trust essence. You do not compete. You create. You do not fear delay. You honor preparation. You know that divine intelligence is already arranging the details. You know that every situation carries hidden perfection. Living as the proof means you bless life, even when it does not go as planned. It means you trust that every detour is still the right road. It means you meet obstacles not as enemies, but as teachers. Say softly, everything in my life is working in divine harmony. Even when I do not understand, I trust completely. I am the walking rhythm of divine timing. Beloved, imagine what your life feels like when you stop reacting to circumstances and start responding from truth. When your peace remains steady, regardless of the storm. When your love remains unshaken, regardless of rejection. When your joy remains radiant, regardless of appearance. That is the proof, unshakable serenity that comes from knowing the law never fails. Say softly, my peace cannot be disturbed. My faith cannot be shaken. My joy cannot be stolen. I am grounded in divine law. You are not here to explain divine law. You are here to express it. You are not here to preach about abundance. You are here to live it so fully that others feel it in your presence. Your energy teaches louder than your words. Your calm heals deeper than your vice. Your vibration is your testimony. Say softly, I embody abundance. I radiate peace. I express divine truth through everything I do. Beloved, every choice you make becomes a declaration of faith. When you pay your bilitude instead of resentment, you prove prosperity. When you give freely without fear, you prove infinite supply. When you forgive quickly, you prove divine love. And when you walk with ease through uncertainty, you prove divine timing. This is what it means to live as the law in action. Not to talk of miracles, but to become one. Not to wait for peace, but to carry it. Not to seek light, but to shine it. Say softly, I am the miracle I once waited for. I am the peace I used to seek. I am the light I prayed would come. The moment you live in alignment, you move from seeking evidence to being evidence. Your aura shifts. People feel your calm before you speak. Opportunities flow toward you without effort. The law recognizes itself within you and multiplies your good. And in that vibration, you no longer force, you no longer chase, you no longer question, you simply allow. Because you know, the proof is already living through you. Say softly, I am divine flow in motion. Everything I touch prospers. Everything I release returns multiplied. Beloved, when you live as the proof, you bless in silence, love without limits, and trust without hesitation. You stop asking, when will it happen? And begin saying, it is happening now. You stop needing validation because truth is self-evident, and your entire being radiates certainty. The serene, powerful certainty that divine law has never failed and never will. Say softly, I am living proof that divine law is real. I am peace in motion. I am prosperity walking. I am faith embodied. Beloved, this is your sacred task. To live what you know. To demonstrate what you teach. To walk in divine alignment so fully that your presence becomes evidence of grace. Say softly, one final decree for this section. I live as proof of divine law. My peace is evidence. My joy is confirmation. My abundance is testimony. Every breath I take declares the law works, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is. Beloved, there comes a sacred moment on every spiritual path. A still point where words end and knowing begins. It is the moment when you no longer seek signs, no longer question the process, no longer ask, is the law working for me? Because you have become the living testimony that it is. You are no longer a student of faith. You are its expression. You are no longer chasing manifestation. You are manifesting by simply existing. You are no longer proving the law. You are the proof. Say softly, I am the testimony of spirit in form. I am the visible evidence of invisible truth. I am divine law fulfilled. The spirit within you has been whispering this truth since the beginning, that you were never separate from abundance, never apart from love, never lacking anything. The universe has always been complete. You were only learning to see it. Every lesson, every delay, every detour was preparation, the sculpting of your consciousness until you could hold this realization that divine law was never outside you. It was within you, waiting to be recognized. Say softly, I no longer seek what I already am. I no longer chase what I already hold. I no longer doubt what is already done. Beloved, the Spirit testifies not in thunder or in spectacle, but in peace. The testimony of Spirit is silence, the kind of silence that vibrates with certainty. It is the quiet joy of knowing that all is well, that nothing is missing, that everything is unfolding under grace and in perfect timing. This is the peace that passes understanding. It is not learned, it is remembered. It is not achieved, it is revealed. It is the soul returning to its original awareness. I and the Father are one. I and divine law are one. I and abundance are one. Say softly, I rest in divine union. I am whole, complete, and provided for. I am already what I desire to become. Beloved, this realization changes everything. When the spirit within you testifies of truth, you stop measuring your worth by outcomes. You stop fearing loss, because you know nothing real can be taken. You stop envying others, because you know every soul is on their divine timeline. You stop rushing, because you finally trust divine timing. This is mastery: to live without anxiety, to without fear, to move without force, and to receive without guilt. Say softly, I live in the peace of knowing. I live in the rest of divine order. Everything that belongs to me finds me with ease. The spirit does not need proof of prosperity, it is prosperity. It does not need validation of power, it is power. It does not strive to manifest, it simply allows what is already true to become visible. Beloved, when you walk in this awareness, you no longer depend on results to confirm your faith. Your faith becomes the result. You no longer wait for evidence. And every corner of your life begins to shine with quiet grace. Say softly, I am proof that faith fulfills itself. I am proof that love provides. I am proof that divine law always keeps its promise. Now you begin to see that all along, nothing was random, not a single moment. Even the unanswered prayers were answered differently. Even the waiting was divine choreography. Even the heartbreak was holy instruction. The Spirit testifies that everything served your awakening. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was lost. Say softly, everything in my story was sacred. Every lesson was love in disguise. Every ending was a doorway to grace. Beloved, this is the final realization. You were never trying to make divine law work. You were learning to remember that it already does. You were never asking for abundance. You were remembering that abundance is your nature. You were never searching for God. You were remembering that God was expressing through you. This is why peace feels like coming home. Because it is home. When you return to faith, you return to yourself. When you live as peace, you live as proof. Say softly, I am home in the law. I am safe in divine order. I am whole in spirit. Beloved, imagine for a moment your life now shining with this awareness. Every morning you rise with gratitude instead of worry. Every evening you rest in peace instead of pressure. You no longer live from reaction. You live from revelation. You no longer wonder what will happen. You trust that it is already happening through grace. This is the testimony of spirit, a life that radiates calm power, that loves without measure, that walks in abundance without effort, that blesses without fear. Say softly, my life is my testimony. My peace is my proof. My joy is my ministry. My abundance is my evidence. Beloved, let this realization settle into your heart. You are not learning how to manifest. You are remembering that you were born manifesting. Every word, every thought, every emotion has always shaped reality. Now, you do it consciously, lovingly, under grace and in perfect timing. You are not hoping to see miracles. You are the miracle through which miracles appear. You are not waiting for confirmation. You are the confirmation that divine law is alive and active. Say softly, with reverence and power, I am the testimony of divine law. I am the evidence that faith creates form. I am the living truth that spirit never fails. Beloved, let this be your final knowing. You do not need to prove divine law. You only need to live it, and life will prove it through you. Every step you take, every word you speak, every breath you breathe will testify the law works, always, effortlessly, eternally. Say softly, one last decree to seal this journey. I am the evidence that divine law works. I am the peace that confirms it. I am the abundance that reveals it. I am the light through which it shines, under grace and in perfect timing. And so it is, and it was always so.
Man is a creature of infinite power if he would but awaken to his authority. Every word he utters is a decree. Every thought a mold into which his world is cast. To speak is to command, and to command is to change. When one realizes this great truth, he ceases to live by default and begins to live by design. The old order of things may cry out for repetition, but the spirit within always seeks transformation. Change is not chaos. It is divine order unfolding in new and better ways. You are not bound by the patterns of yesterday unless you cling to them. The moment you speak differently, you live differently. You stand, this very instant, at the gate of change. It need not come slowly. It need not come with strain. The law is instant and unfailing when used in faith. Speak now what you desire. Say it not with fear, but with boldness, knowing that you are backed by the infinite substance of the universe. There is no power outside of you that holds sway over your good unless you give it that power. The command is always yours. Many people cry, "I want change." Yet their words remain tangled in the vocabulary of limitation. "I can't. It's hard. I've tried." These are not commands to change, but affirmations of stagnation. The word is your wand. It creates, it releases, it rearranges. If you would see the world shift, shift your language. If you would see the new, speak the new. Say, "Everything is working together for my good." Say, "Change comes easily and joyfully to me." Say, "I am in command of my life, and I welcome the new with confidence." These are not idle phrases, they are blueprints. They summon invisible forces to arrange people, places, and possibilities in your favor. You cannot change the outer by remaining the same within. You must speak as one already changed. Imagine the self you wish to become and give that self a voice. The moment you do, you set divine law in motion. Let go of the old, not with regret, but with gratitude, for it brought you here. Now, you speak a new command. You write a new decree upon the ethers. And life, always obedient, reshapes itself to your word. Your words are commands that shape your reality. This truth, though simple, holds immense power, yet few truly grasp it. The spoken word is not just sound or expression. It is law in motion, a decree that shapes the unseen into the seen. When a person speaks, they are not merely communicating, they are constructing, issuing instructions to the invisible forces that govern life. Every word carries vibration, intention, and energetic authority, and the universe obeys the command whether the speaker is aware of their power or not. The law does not distinguish between idle talk and deliberate affirmation. It responds to the tone, belief, and emotion behind the word. Therefore, when one says, "I am always unlucky," the law registers it as a command and brings forth experiences to match it. When someone continually declares, "Money is hard to come by," they unknowingly issue a standing order for lack and limitation. The outer world is not the master, it is the mirror. What one sees around them is the reflection of what has been said within and aloud. Many believe their circumstances are the result of fate, heredity, or chance, but these are only shadows cast by the continual repetition of the same mental and verbal patterns. Words set those patterns into form. A man may say, "I never succeed," and wonder why success eludes him, not realizing that he has already written failure into the blueprint of his life. The spoken word molds thought into form, thought into experience, thought into matter. It is not necessary to speak loudly or dramatically for the command to take effect. The still, calm word spoken with belief has more power than 1,000 shouted without faith. It is the consciousness behind the word that makes it magnetic. A word spoken with fear calls forth fear's children. A word spoken in faith draws the hosts of heaven. There is nothing haphazard about creation. It is a precise system of cause and effect, and the cause always begins with the word. The scriptures say, "In the beginning was the word," and it is still so. Every beginning, every new chapter, every breakthrough begins with a word. Whether whispered in prayer, spoken in casual conversation, or uttered in passing complaint, the word carries weight. It travels forth, gathers substance, and returns as reality. This is why it is essential to guard the lips and train the tongue to speak only what one truly wishes to experience. Idle words create active consequences. To speak is to sow. The soil is the subconscious, ever ready to receive. The harvest is inevitable. One cannot continually speak of lack, worry, sickness, or struggle and expect a life of abundance, peace, health, and joy. The law is too exact, too unfailing. It is not cruel but just. It gives each according to their decree. The wise one begins to choose their words as a gardener chooses their seed, with care, purpose, and foresight. Even in jest, even in habit, the word is potent. How often do people speak of dying to do something, or declare, "This always happens to me," not realizing they are cementing those experiences into their future? The universe does not have a sense of humor, it has a sense of order. It fulfills the words spoken with focus, whether that focus is joyful or anxious, clear or confused. Every statement sends a message to the creative substance of life, and that substance obeys. This is not about superficial positivity or empty mantras. The word must be aligned with belief. To say, "I am wealthy," while inwardly expecting struggle is to create confusion. But to say, "Wealth flows to me in surprising ways," with genuine openness and expectation, is to make a command that the universe can fulfill without resistance. The alignment of word and inner state is what produces the miracle. One cannot fool the law, but one can align with it. Children speak with authority because they do not yet doubt the power of their word. They declare, "I am a superhero," and in their world, it becomes so. Adults, clouded by logic and past experience, often speak with hesitation, apology, or fear. They have forgotten that they, too, once commanded worlds with a whisper. To return to that place of inner certainty is to reclaim the power of the word. It is not about becoming something new. It is about remembering what has always been true. The greatest transformations begin with a change in language. When a person who once said, "Nothing ever works out for me," begins to say, "Everything is working together for my highest good," the entire fabric of their life begins to shift. It may not happen in a moment, but it begins in a moment, the moment the word changes. That moment is the turning point. The command goes forth, and life rearranges itself accordingly. This law operates whether or not one is spiritually minded or religious. It is not dependent on belief in a particular doctrine. It is a universal principle, like gravity, responding to vibration, intention, and energy. A scientist, a poet, a mother, or a laborer all speak into existence their reality through the words they use. The titles do not matter. The law responds to the speaker, not the label. The difference between struggle and success, between confusion and clarity, between lack and abundance often lies in a single shift of language, not grand speeches or poetic verses, but small daily declarations. Instead of, "I can't afford this," say, "How can I afford this?" Instead of, "I'm always tired," say, "I am restoring my energy." These are not lies, they are invitations to a better reality. They are choices made consciously to command something new. Each morning, as the sun rises, the words spoken into the air create the framework for the day. To begin with complaint is to command discord. To begin with gratitude is to command harmony. Even the most mundane words, spoken over breakfast, while getting dressed, during a phone call, carry the seed of future experience. To live with this awareness is not to become fearful or rigid, but empowered. One begins to choose words like treasures, each one valuable, each one shaping the path ahead. People often ask for change, pray for miracles, or wish for a new life, not realizing that the answer lies on their own tongue. They wait for the world to change before they speak differently. But the world does not lead, the word leads. The outer cannot shift without an inner command. That command is not shouted, begged, or forced. It is spoken, firmly and faithfully, as a master issues instructions to a trusted servant. Life is that servant waiting, listening, ready to obey. Change begins the moment you speak it with conviction. Nothing moves until something is declared. The universe, vast and responsive, awaits a signal, a spark of focused intention carried by the spoken word. The moment you speak, you initiate. You may not see the effects instantly, but the currents begin to shift the moment the command is released. You are not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for you to speak change into it. That is the divine paradox. The external responds to the internal, and the internal gains momentum through declaration. Most people wait for signs, for better circumstances, for something outside themselves to show them it's time to begin anew. They linger in delay, hoping that life will first improve before they choose better words. But the flow does not work that way. It begins within. You must speak what you seek. You must name the change. A decision is made with words, quiet or loud, it does not matter. The energy behind it makes all the difference. Conviction gives the word wings. To speak with conviction is to speak from a place of knowing, even when physical evidence has not yet arrived. It is to stand in faith when logic trembles. It is to use the power of your word to build the bridge from the unseen to the seen. Many whisper timid hopes into the wind, unsure if their voice carries any weight. But when you speak with certainty, with emotional alignment, with an inner yes, the air shifts. Change is not coerced into being, it is commanded. The power of speech lies not merely in sound, but in certainty. You may speak something dozens of times with no change, simply because you do not believe it. But say it once with full conviction, and the wheels of destiny turn. There is no need for repetition without faith. One declaration, spoken with soul, surpasses 1,000 empty affirmations. Conviction opens the gate and the river flows. A person may live in the same conditions for years, believing they are stuck, until one day they speak a different word. Enough. I'm ready for something new. That one moment, that clear decision vocalized with power, marks the beginning of transformation. It is not always dramatic or visible, but internally, a shift occurs. The word cuts through the fog. The statement becomes a sword, dividing the old from the new. There is before the word, and there is after. It is not necessary to know every step ahead. The command to change does not require a map, only a voice. Speak the end from the beginning. Declare the new before it arrives. Say, I am aligned with abundance, even if the bank account is empty. Say, I am healthy and whole, even if symptoms persist. You are not lying. You are leading. You are not ignoring reality. You are reordering it through the higher law of belief. Conviction is the signal that tells the universe, this one is ready. Conviction is not force. It is not the clenched jaw or the shouting demand. It is the still, rooted tone that says, this is who I am now. There is no need to argue, no need to convince. When conviction is real, there is no inner contradiction. The whole being is aligned. You do not speak one thing and think another. You do not affirm light while secretly fearing the dark. You are united in intention, word, and emotion. In this state, your word is magnetic. People often speak what they see, not what they desire. They speak their complaints, their doubts, their history. But this only extends the current reality. True change requires speaking beyond the scene. It demands a bold word in the face of contradiction. To speak change with conviction is to become the author of a new narrative. It is not to ignore facts, but to declare a higher truth. You say, I choose peace, not because all is peaceful, but because peace is now your command. You say, I rise, not because you have risen, but because your voice lifts you. Each time you speak with power, you are shifting timelines. You are stepping into alignment with a future that matches your words. The conviction with which you speak determines the speed and precision of that alignment. Half-hearted words create confusion. Words spoken with fear create resistance. But words rooted in faith draw the fulfillment swiftly. You do not need to know how. It is not your task to orchestrate the path. Your role is to speak the command with belief. Change does not require external permission. You do not need approval from others, signs from the heavens, or confirmation from circumstances. You only need to declare. The most profound changes often begin in silence, with one decisive statement whispered in the solitude of your soul. That one moment of clarity sends out ripples that touch everything. The outside may seem unchanged for a time, but the seed has been planted, and the harvest is inevitable. Many fear to speak change because they do not want to be disappointed. They say, what if I declare and nothing happens? But the greater risk is in saying nothing. The greater danger is in letting fear steal your voice. Your word is not powerless. It is powerful when spoken with conviction. And even if the change unfolds slowly, even if it comes disguised in unexpected ways, it will come. The law cannot deny the word that is aligned with truth and spoken in full belief. To speak change is to break the cycle. It is to interrupt the momentum of the past and insert a new pattern. The longer one waits to speak the word, the more entrenched the old story becomes. But the moment the word of change is declared, the energy begins to reorganize. Delay ends. A new vibration enters the field. This is not imagination, it is creation. You are not daydreaming, you are commanding. Change does not obey the clock, it obeys the word. There is no right time but now, and now responds to conviction. Every time you declare, I am ready, you advance. Every time you say, I choose better, the old begins to dissolve. The word carries the blueprint, and the blueprint becomes structure. This is how all new realities are built. On spoken conviction, firm and fearless. To speak change is to honor your power. It is to stop waiting and start creating. The moment you say, I am not who I was, something shifts. The moment you say, this is my new story, the pages begin to turn. Even if you do not yet see the full picture, trust the echo of your voice. The universe has heard it. The vibration has been registered. Life has received its new instruction. It is not about shouting into the void. It is about speaking from within the silence with authority. You may be standing in the same room, in the same clothes, surrounded by the same people. But once your word changes, so does everything else. The inner signal is stronger than the outer scene. Speak with conviction, and the unseen moves in your favor. Conviction is the key that turns the lock. It is the yes that opens doors. It is the light that reveals the path. When you say, I am no longer available for what no longer serves me, the world listens. When you say, I receive my good now, the energy aligns. The moment you speak change with conviction, you are no longer bound by history. You are free. Limiting language blocks transformation. Words are not simply tools for expression, they are containers of belief. Every sentence spoken carries within it an assumption, a seed of reality that takes root in the subconscious and grows according to the energy behind it. When you speak in terms of limitation, phrases like, I can't, it's too late, I'm not good enough, or, this always happens to me, you are not merely describing your life. You are prescribing it. You are placing invisible walls around what is possible and instructing life to conform to those boundaries. The subconscious mind does not argue or reason. It accepts repeated statements as truth and acts accordingly. If you continuously affirm that success is difficult, that love never lasts, or that opportunities are scarce, then your inner world molds itself around those declarations. And as within, so without. Life becomes a mirror, reflecting those inner limits outward into relationships, career, health, and self-worth. There is no neutral language. Every word either expands or contracts your experience. People often do not realize the power behind their most casual statements. I'm terrible with money, they say with a shrug, unaware they are issuing a command. I never catch a break, they joke, reinforcing a cycle of resistance. Even phrases used for politeness or self-deprecation can become powerful affirmations. The law is not concerned with tone or intention, it responds to vibration. A negative phrase spoken with humor still carries the energetic imprint of limitation. Limiting language becomes habitual, a kind of linguistic muscle memory formed over years of repetition and observation. It is passed down through families, reinforced by cultural norms, and solidified through past experiences. We've always struggled with this. One might say believing it is simply a fact. But what seems factual is often only a repeated pattern, a story told so often it has become real. Changing the language is the first step toward changing the story. You cannot speak of lack and expect abundance. You cannot speak of sickness and expect vitality. You cannot speak fear and live in peace. The words must match the desired outcome. If they do not, there is contradiction, and contradiction stalls momentum. The energy becomes divided. One part of you hopes for transformation, while another part continues to reinforce the very state you seek to leave behind. In this tug of war, the stronger side always wins, and often, the limiting language has been spoken so long it has become louder than your desire. To break free from limitation, you must become aware of your words. Begin to notice the phrases you use unconsciously. Pay attention to what you declare about yourself, your circumstances, and others. Language is not only what you speak out loud, it is also what you whisper in your mind. Thoughts are unspoken words, and they carry the same weight. Replacing limiting language with empowered language is not pretending. It is reprogramming. It is rewriting the script that governs your reality. You may think, but I'm only telling the truth. And yet, truth is fluid. What you declare as true becomes true for you. You are not denying facts when you choose better words. You are choosing to align with a higher possibility. Saying, "I'm learning how to manage money wisely," is not denying your current struggle. It is reframing it in a way that opens the door to change. Saying, "I'm becoming stronger every day," is not ignoring pain. It is commanding growth. There is a vast difference between observation and identification. You can observe a challenge without identifying with it. You can acknowledge the facts of a moment without making them your identity. Limiting language blurs this line. It fuses the temporary with the permanent. It turns passing feelings into fixed labels. "I'm anxious" becomes more than a description. It becomes a definition. And once something is defined, it is repeated. And once it is repeated, it becomes reality. The transformation begins with subtle shifts. Instead of saying, "I always fail," say, "I've learned from my past and I'm growing." Instead of, "I never get what I want," say, "Good things are beginning to flow into my life." These are not lies, they are realignments. They open the channel for a new experience. The subconscious accepts these new commands and begins to work in their direction. Energy follows intention, and intention is expressed through words. Some will resist this idea, thinking it's too simplistic. They may say, "Words can't change everything." But look around. Everything you now experience was once described by words. Someone said, "Let's build this. Let's go there. This is who I am. This is what I'll do." Words precede actions. Words shape beliefs. Beliefs shape behavior. Behavior shapes outcomes. The transformation of any life begins not at the level of doing, but at the level of speaking. Children understand this intuitively. They speak in possibility. They say, "I can be anything. I can do anything. Watch me." There is no limitation in their vocabulary until it is taught to them. Over time, they learn to speak caution instead of courage, doubt instead of determination. But the original voice remains within. To rediscover your power, you must rediscover your original language, the language of expansion, hope, and creative command. Limiting language not only affects the self, but also influences those around you. When you continually speak discouragement, fear, or doubt, you project that limitation onto others. You dim their vision as well as your own. Conversely, when you speak with belief, encouragement, and optimism, you uplift those within your field. Your words become permission for others to grow. Your speech becomes a vessel of transformation, not just for you, but for your environment. The shift in language often precedes any visible change. People may look at their lives and say, "But nothing's different yet," as if waiting for the outer world to validate the new words. But transformation begins invisibly. First within the energy field, then in behavior, then in circumstance. The seed is spoken, the roots form, the sprout emerges. Just because you cannot see the result yet does not mean it is not forming. Trust the process and keep speaking in alignment with the future you desire. To eliminate limiting language, you must replace it with conscious language. This requires attention, commitment, and repetition. Begin with simple affirmations that feel believable. Choose statements that open rather than close. Avoid absolutes like always and never, and instead use words like beginning, growing, becoming. These words signal motion. evolution, and expansion. They tell the subconscious we are no longer stuck. This is not about perfection. You will still catch yourself slipping into old patterns. What matters is the awareness and the willingness to correct course. Each time you replace a limiting phrase with an empowering one, you weaken the old neural pathway and strengthen a new one. Eventually, the empowering language becomes the default. You begin to speak from your potential, not your past. Language is your magic. It is the spell you cast each day. It is the code that writes your reality. Speak limitation, and you will see it. Speak freedom, and you will feel it. Speak expansion, and you will live it. Your voice is the pen, and your life is the canvas. Choose the words that paint the picture you want to live inside. Speak as the person you desire to become. This is not about pretending or playing a role. It is about aligning your vibration with your vision. Every word you speak is either a reflection of your past or a declaration of your future. When you choose to speak from the self you wish to embody, you begin to collapse the distance between where you are and where you are going. The voice carries identity, and when the identity shifts, reality follows. If you continually speak as the version of yourself bound by limitation, fear, or failure, you prolong that experience. But when you speak with the confidence, clarity, and certainty of the future version of you, the version that already has what you seek, you step into a different frequency. That frequency draws matching experiences. This principle is not built on fantasy, it is built on energetic law. Who you identify as becomes what you expect. What you expect becomes how you act. How you act becomes what you receive. Speaking from your future self is an act of creative intention. It is how you summon the unseen. You do not wait for the outer world to catch up. You speak as though it already has. You declare, you affirm, you claim. Not because it is already visible, but because it is already real in the unseen. You begin to treat the invisible as more powerful than the visible. Many wait for change before they shift their language. They wait until the success arrives to call themselves successful. They wait for the relationship to declare themselves worthy of love. They wait for healing before they speak of strength. But this delay traps them in the old identity. The becoming never begins because the declaration never does. You do not have to fake confidence. You have to speak from the part of you that already knows. That part exists within. It is not an invention, but a revelation. It speaks through inspiration, through vision, through the inner yes that rises when you imagine something more. You are always speaking from some version of yourself. The question is which one? Are your words shaped by the self who feels stuck, small, afraid? Or are they shaped by the self who has already risen, who already knows, who already sees the mountaintop? To speak as your future self is to bring that version of you into the now. It is to pull the dream into the present through the bridge of your voice. Your words are time travelers. They carry energy across timelines. They send signals into the quantum field, telling it which version of you to materialize. This does not mean ignoring your present circumstances. It means refusing to let them define your vocabulary. It means speaking from a deeper truth than what is currently visible. You may be facing debt, but you speak as someone who manages money wisely and calls in abundance. You may be feeling lonely, but you speak as someone who is magnetic to loving, supportive relationships. This is not delusion. It is creation. You are not denying what is, you are declaring what will be. And the declaration sets the shift in motion. The moment you speak from your desired self, you change your posture. You carry yourself differently. You make different choices. You say yes to what aligns and no to what doesn't. Your boundaries shift. Your habits shift. Your relationships shift. Because your identity has shifted. When you say, I am no longer available for struggle, your life begins to organize itself around ease. When you say, I show up as my highest self, your days begin to reflect that energy. The words come first. They are the architects of the new foundation. Language is a signal. It tells your nervous system what to expect. It tells your energy field what to attract. It tells others how to treat you. When you speak with clarity, calm, and power, you communicate self-respect. When you speak with indecision, apology, or desperation, you communicate self-doubt. People respond to the vibration of your voice, even more than the content of your message. Speak from your future self, and people begin to treat you accordingly. The world meets you at your level of expectation. This practice requires awareness. You must begin to catch the moments when your language reflects the old self. The complaints, the fears, the stories you've repeated for years, they are not facts, they are patterns. And patterns can be interrupted. Begin to pause before you speak. Ask, who is speaking right now? Is this the version of me who feels powerless, or the one who knows her worth? Is this the voice of my limitations, or the voice of my expansion? Every sentence is a choice. Every sentence is a spell. You do not have to speak grand affirmations all day long. Sometimes the most powerful statements are simple. I've got this. This is just the beginning. I'm stepping into something greater. I can handle it. These are phrases your future self would use. Not because everything is perfect, but because she trusts herself. Speaking this way becomes a habit. A new tone begins to dominate your conversations, your inner dialogue, your presence. You become the evidence of your next level. This is not about arrogance. It is about ownership. There is no need to inflate or exaggerate. You are not trying to convince anyone. You are choosing to walk in alignment with your becoming. You are deciding to let the old story go. You are choosing to speak from the knowing that what you desire is not only possible, it's already on its way. And because it's on its way, you begin to speak like someone who knows that. You release the language of waiting. You release the vocabulary of lack. You release the identity of not yet. You step into the now of your next chapter. When you speak as your desired self, you create internal safety. You remind yourself of who you are becoming. You remind your nervous system that change is not a threat, but a homecoming. You create resonance between your words and your vision, and that resonance has power. It makes you magnetic. Opportunities begin to come. Support appears. Synchronicities unfold. Not because of luck, but because your vibration has changed and your world is responding. This requires courage. There will be moments when your outer world challenges your new language. Old conditions will test your declarations. People may not understand your shift, but your job is not to explain your transformation to others. It is to honor it within yourself. Every time you speak from your future, you strengthen that reality. Every time you declare who you are becoming, you anchor that identity. Your voice is the bridge. Your voice is the invitation. Your voice is the activator. The person you desire to become already exists. That version of you is not far away. It is a frequency you can tune into now. One of the fastest ways to tune into it is through speech. Not just what you say, but how you say it. Speak with grace. Speak with confidence. Speak with vision. Speak with presence. Let your words reflect your worth, your clarity, your direction. Let your language become the container for the life you are calling in. Speak as if it is already done. Speak as if you are already there. Speak from the self who has walked through the fire, claimed her crown, and come home to her truth. Divine law responds instantly to faith-filled commands. This is not a theory or a metaphor, but a spiritual certainty that governs the movement of energy, manifestation, and form. The universe, infinite in intelligence and precision, is always listening, always responding. It does not delay because of complexity, nor does it hesitate out of judgment. The delay comes only from the wavering mind of the one who commands without belief. But when a word is spoken in faith, clear, unwavering, and rooted in spiritual confidence, the response is immediate. Even if the physical unfolding appears gradual, the law begins its work in that instant, arranging, aligning, and moving in ways beyond the limits of human planning. Faith is the activator. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between the seed and the harvest. To speak without faith is to speak empty words, sound without substance, form without force. But to speak with faith is to strike a match in the dark, to send a pulse through the field of infinite potential. Faith-filled speech is charged with a power that bypasses limitation. It is not loudness that moves the heavens. It is certainty. It is the quiet authority that says, "It is done," and leaves no room for doubt. The law is divine because it is perfect. It does not play favorites, nor does it choose based on worthiness, background, or status. It operates through alignment. The soul that speaks from faith, knowing that their word is law, aligns with the higher rhythm of creation. They do not plead, they declare. They do not wish, they decide. They do not question, they trust. This trust is not blind, it is rooted in spiritual intelligence, in the deep awareness that all things are already completed in the realm of the unseen. And that faith is the substance which brings them forth. Many speak, but few command. Many ask, but few believe they have already received. The divine law does not wait for time, it waits for alignment. The moment the heart and the word agree, the moment intention and vibration merge, the signal is sent. You may not see the manifestation with your physical eyes immediately, but in the unseen, the creation has begun. The blueprint is drawn, the structure is forming, the path is clearing. It is not a question of if, it is a matter of unfolding. Faith-filled commands are not passive. They do not beg for permission. They do not tremble with uncertainty. They speak as co-creators, as divine beings in full remembrance of their authority. When you speak in this way, you do not ask the universe to make something happen. You know it already has. You do not look for signs to convince yourself. You become the sign. You do not measure the size of the problem. You speak from the size of your power. You say, "This is so," and you move forward as if it is already done. To speak in faith requires that you silence the inner critic, the doubter, the skeptic. These voices belong to the realm of fear, not truth. They echo old programs, old wounds, old limitations. But faith speaks from the soul, not the story. Faith draws from the knowing that beneath the noise of the world is a deeper reality, one where your word is creative, your intention is sacred, and your alignment is magnetic. Every moment you speak in faith, you override the noise. You elevate your frequency. You call forth the new. There is a vast difference between hoping something will happen and knowing it has already been set in motion. Hope is valuable, but faith is foundational. Hope carries the wish, faith carries the conviction. Divine law is not moved by hesitation. It is moved by certainty. This certainty does not come from evidence, but from inner alignment. When your inner being agrees with your word, you have entered the place of power. From that place, all things are possible. You do not need to be loud to speak in faith. Some of the most powerful commands are spoken in a whisper, a silent prayer, a single word released with full presence. Yes. Now. Dune. These words, when spoken from alignment, carry more force than 1,000 affirmations spoken with doubt. The universe does not count your words, it reads your energy. It measures your belief, your clarity, your alignment with truth. Speak less if you must, but speak with more conviction. Say only what you mean. Declare only what you desire. Let your words carry weight. Faith-filled commands do not bargain with the divine. They do not say, "If I'm good enough, then this will happen," or, "Maybe if I try harder, it will come." Faith says, "It is mine," not because of merit, but because of alignment. The divine law responds to vibration, not pleading. The universe is not withholding anything. It is waiting for your yes. That yes is spoken not in desperation, but in delight. It is a yes that expects fulfillment. It is a yes that walks forward with peace. To speak in faith is to walk in vision. You see what is not yet visible and treat it as real. You honor the dream not because of what it looks like now, but because of what it truly is. Divine law sees no difference between a dream and a reality. It only sees command. It only sees the clarity of the one who speaks. If you speak from lack, you prolong lack. If you speak from fullness, you accelerate fulfillment. The law does not edit your words, it fulfills them. There is no condition that can override divine law. Circumstances may appear fixed, but the moment a faith-filled command is spoken, they begin to shift. The soul that knows their authority does not fear appearances. They speak, And they keep speaking, not to convince the world, but to remain anchored in their truth. They know the power of repetition, not as ritual, but as reinforcement. Each time they speak from faith, they deepen the groove of belief, and belief is the soil where miracles grow. Divine law is not slow, it is precise. It does not make errors, it follows instruction. You are the instructor, you are the voice it responds to. When you speak from fear, it obeys. When you speak from doubt, it obeys. But when you speak from faith, from clarity, from joy, it brings forth outcomes that transcend logic. It opens doors you did not knock on. It sends help you did not ask for. It moves in ways that astonish the mind. Not because it is miraculous, but because it is lawful. You are never without power because you are never without your word. You carry the instrument of creation with you at all times. You do not need rituals, titles, or permission. You need only the courage to speak as one who knows. You need only the willingness to trust that the unseen is more real than the seen. You need only the discipline to speak with intention rather than reaction. Faith is not a feeling. It is a stance. It is the inner yes that remains firm, regardless of what the outer world reflects. The more you speak in faith, the more natural it becomes. You no longer ask, "What if it doesn't happen?" You say, "It already has." You no longer say, "I hope it works out." You say, "It is working now." Your words become less about requesting and more about revealing. You speak not to get something, but to embody something. You speak not to fix the world, but to align with the version of the world you know exists. Faith does not wait, it declares. Faith does not wonder, it knows. Faith does not question, it commands. And the divine law responds without hesitation to the one who speaks in truth.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
It's great to be here.
We're continuing our journey today, digging deeper into the really incredible, timeless wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn.
hmm
And if you've ever felt that kind of persistent whisper, that nagging feeling that something is just, well, off when it comes to money,
Yeah,
even though you're working hard, you have good intentions, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
absolutely. I think so many people feel that.
We've all been there, haven't we? You're pushing, you're striving, maybe even like grinding yourself into total exhaustion,
hmm
only to feel like you're still pushing this massive boulder uphill.
And it just keeps rolling back down.
Exactly. Or maybe
Yeah,
you feel like you're standing outside this beautiful feast,
right.
right? Seeing other people thriving, they seem so full and abundant,
Yeah,
and you're just wondering, what am I missing? What are they doing differently? Am I doing something wrong?
that question, what am I doing wrong?
Huh.
It's so common,
It really is. But Florence Scovel Shinn, she offers this really radical, almost comforting truth.
which is,
You aren't doing anything wrong. You've simply been playing this, well, this divine game, but maybe with an incomplete rule book.
okay, an incomplete rule book. I like that.
And the first, maybe the most crucial rule we missed, is that this game isn't won with just sheer effort. Not alone, anyway.
Right. It's about energy.
It's about energy. Think about it. You've probably seen people who just seem to move through life with this sort of quiet grace.
Like an inner peace.
Yeah, exactly. An unshakable inner peace. And opportunities just kind of land at their feet.
While others are struggling.
Right. Then you see others just as brilliant, just as dedicated, pouring everything in, yet they have so little to show for it sometimes.
And the difference isn't the obvious things.
No, it's not talent or education or even just luck. It's what Shin called their soul's energetic signature.
That's a powerful phrase. What does that really mean in practice?
Well, it's not some, floaty concept. Think of it like the unique frequency your inner state is constantly broadcasting,
Right.
like a radio signal, constantly telling the universe what to send back to you
So our inner state creates an outer reality.
directly. And this energetic signature,
Hmm.
it directly impacts your financial reality. Shin teaches us to see ourselves right now as operating like a kind of spiritual bank.
A spiritual bank.
Yeah. Every single word that leaves your mouth, it functions as either a deposit or a withdrawal in your energetic account with the universe.
Wow. Words as transactions.
Exactly. And your thoughts, they're generating interest, either positive or negative interest, and it compounds over time.
And that shapes our actual life, our substance.
It shapes the substance of your life. So the journey from feeling lack to experiencing true abundance. It isn't really about working harder.
It's about alignment.
It's about aligning with these precise spiritual codes, what she calls the divine laws of prosperity.
That framing is so, so important,
Mhm.
especially when we talk about that feeling you mentioned earlier, like an internal, almost like a civil war.
Mm.
That conflict between what we consciously say we want
Hmm.
and maybe those hidden beliefs that are actually, running the show underneath.
Right. The ones we don't even realize are there sometimes.
Exactly. And this is precisely why you just cannot outwork spiritual misalignment. It doesn't work.
Hmm. Say more about that. You can't outwork it.
Well, think about it like trying to drive a car forward, but you've got the emergency brake fully pulled up.
Okay. Yeah.
The harder you hit the gas,
Yeah.
right, the more friction you create. Maybe smoke starts billowing.
You're burning fuel, getting exhausted.
Exactly. And you're not really moving forward. More effort just generates more resistance when your interstate is fundamentally contradictory.
That makes so much sense.
So the answer isn't out there in some other financial strategy or the next big hustle tactic.
It's internal.
It lies in really understanding how you manage your energy, like every single day, and how that inner state directly shapes your outer financial reality.
Okay.
So, our goal really in this deep dive is to unpack these foundational laws. We're drawing from this timeless wisdom that kind of shows us why traditional advice often falls short
Right.
and how our inner world truly does influence our outer financial experience.
That car analogy really hits home. It makes perfect sense. But okay, for someone who's maybe spent their whole life grinding, like we said,
Hmm.
how do they even begin to identify and, release those emergency brakes that Shin's talking about? Where do you start?
Yeah, that's the key question. And it really starts with awareness, just noticing. Which brings us actually directly to the first of these foundational laws.
Okay, let's dive in.
Florence Scovel Shinn called it the law of the word.
The law of the word.
Yeah. She basically says that your words are the most powerful creative tool you possess, way more powerful than most of us realize.
More powerful than actions, even.
In a creative sense, yes. Shin taught that every word you speak is like a spiritual mold.
A mold.
Yeah, like a blueprint. And the formless substance of the universe, the energy, it gets poured into that mold.
Wow.
So your words don't just describe your reality, they're the active living instruments that are actually creating it.
So, okay, when Shin talks about words being a spiritual mold, does that mean even our internal self talk, the stuff we just think? Or is it mostly what we say out loud?
It's really both, but there's a particular power, an energetic charge to what's spoken aloud.
Okay.
And look, this isn't just about positive thinking in that kind of superficial way some people talk about.
Right, like just plastering affirmations over doubt.
Exactly, it goes
Yeah.
deeper. It's about understanding your words as the universe's,
Yeah,
like it's command language.
command language.
The spiritual world, as she saw it, operates with this incredible recording accuracy. It's always listening, not to judge you, but simply to obey.
To obey our words.
Yeah. It multiplies what it hears without really questioning if your statements are wise or true for you. It doesn't protect you from careless words.
So it takes this literally.
It simply honors your divine authority as a creator, which means, and this is key, until your speech becomes sacred, really intentional, your money can't become stable,
There's a direct link.
an unbreakable link. Think about how radical this is. She's saying your mouth wasn't meant to be just a thermometer, just reflecting the temperature of your circumstances.
Love complaining about how things are.
Right. It was designed to be a thermostat, setting the temperature of your reality.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge shift. So instead of saying, ugh, money is so tight this month,
Mhm.
we need to start maybe consciously affirming something like, I live in a universe of infinite abundance and I'm an open and willing channel for my good. Something like that.
Precisely. And it's not about lying to yourself if things feel tight right now. It's about aligning your speech with the deeper eternal reality of your soul, your true nature. This is like your first act of divine obedience, in her view.
So a practice could be maybe for the next 7 days, just become like a sacred guardian of your words.
Yes, I love that. A sacred guardian.
Just notice the casual complaints, maybe the self-deprecating jokes about being broke,
Oh, yeah, those are common.
those fearful conversations we have. And you don't need to police yourself with shame or judgment.
No, gently.
Just notice and then make a new choice. Maybe silence is better than a statement of lack, or even better, just a quiet word of truth about abundance instead.
Beautifully put. And with that understanding of our words setting the stage, let's look at how Shin says we actually move this energy.
Okay.
This brings us to the second critical law, the law of circulation.
Circulation, like blood flow.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Money, she caught, is spirit in motion. Its very nature is to flow.
Okay.
It expands when it's allowed to move freely, and it contracts when it's held in fear.
Which is counterintuitive because most of us are taught the opposite.
Totally the opposite. We're taught to grip our money tightly, hoard it with this white-knuckled fist of anxiety.
Yeah, scarcity mindset.
But that fear-based grip, it actually suffocates the very energy you're trying to attract. Holding on to money in fear is like holding your breath.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You can't receive a fresh inhale, a new supply, until you're willing to fully and trustingly exhale.
Let go.
Let go. Stagnation, she would say, is the enemy of abundance.
So it really is that image of a beautiful flowing river versus like a dammed up stagnant pond.
Precisely.
It's almost funny, isn't it, how we're taught to hoard every penny when Shin is basically saying the exact opposite is the path to actually having more.
It is ironic. And those people who seem to be money magnets, they understand this law, whether they know it consciously or just intuitively.
So they release money differently.
Yes, with joy, with confidence, with the absolute expectation of its return multiplied.
So practically, when you pay a bill, instead of feeling that resentment, that heaviness.
hmm Don't do it with a heavy heart. See it as a moment of power.
Okay, pal.
Maybe place your hand on the payment, whether it's online or paper, and just quietly say something like, I bless this money. I release it with love and gratitude for the service it provided me.
Acknowledging the value received.
Exactly. It goes out now to bless and prosper everyone it touches, and by law, it returns to me multiplied, under grace, in a perfect way.
So you're not losing money.
You're activating a divine loop of circulation. You're putting energy into motion with trust.
Okay, words create the mold, circulation keeps the energy flowing. What's next?
Well, once your words and your circulation start to align, you're ready for the third law. And this one bridges the gap between the invisible, the energetic, and the visible world with really breathtaking power.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's the law of assumption,
Assumption, meaning.
meaning you have to walk, speak, breathe, and feel as if your desired reality is already complete. Now,
Even if the bank account doesn't show it yet.
especially if the bank account doesn't show it yet. Why? Because in the mind of spirit, or the quantum field, if you prefer, where all things are created first, it already is complete.
It exists energetically.
It already exists.
Yeah.
The only thing that delays its appearance in your visible life is your own refusal, often unconscious, to step into the feeling of the wish already fulfilled.
That's the hard part, the feeling.
It is. Most people approach manifestation by striving, hoping, waiting.
Yeah, I hope it comes soon.
Right. But the very frequency of waiting actually pushes your desire further into the future. You can't attract wealth while you're vibrating in a state of, I hope it comes.
You attract it from the state of having it.
You attract wealth by embodying the frequency, the identity that says, it is already here. I am already that.
Wow. So this is about collapsing the timeline, not waiting for it, but being it now.
You got it. Collapsing the timeline.
It's about generating that same deep kind of cellular certainty you feel when, for sure a paycheck is coming on Friday.
Good example.
You don't spend Thursday in a panic, right? You make plans based on knowing it's coming.
You assume it's done.
Okay, so the practice here is like a sacred spiritual rehearsal.
The rehearsal, yes, perfect.
Maybe when you wake up, before your feet even hit the floor, you ask yourself, okay, how would the version of me who is completely financially whole and peaceful feel right now?
And then embody it.
Yeah, inhale that feeling of peace, let it fill your body. When you choose your clothes, maybe choose them as the soul who is already abundantly supplied.
Acting as if.
And it's not pretending in a fake way, it's aligning, it's tuning your energy.
Exactly. Because your subconscious mind, it can't really distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a quote unquote real one.
So it starts to accept the new reality.
It accepts this new reality as truth, and then it starts orchestrating your outer world to match that inner state.
Okay, so let your unshakable inner truth be. It is already done.
It is already done. That's the frequency. And this naturally leads us to the fourth law, which is a sacred practice that really amplifies the power of circulation. It turns it into this divine engine of multiplication.
Okay, amplifying circulation. How?
So, through the law of tithing with word.
Tithing. Okay, giving a portion.
Yes, but it's more than just giving money away. Tithing with word is the specific practice of supercharging that generosity with a precise spoken declaration.
Ah, the words again.
Always back to the words. It makes it a spiritual transaction, not just a financial or charitable one.
Got it.
Giving is definitely one of life's most powerful activators for abundance. We know that.
Yeah.
But tithing, giving a portion of your income, when you understand it this way, it's like a spiritual technology for activating the universal law of increase.
A spiritual technology. I like that.
But here's the secret most people miss. Simply giving money away, even generously, isn't always enough to trigger that multiplication. The true, explosive power is unleashed when you tithe with word. The few who really get this law, they don't just give money and kind of hope for the best.
They command its return.
They give money and command its return through a specific, authoritative, spoken declaration.
Okay, so it's transforming that simple act of generosity into something much more potent.
Exactly. A powerful spiritual transaction. You have to realize you're not truly giving to a person or an organization. Ultimately, no matter how worthy they are,
Who are you giving to then?
you are giving to the principle of abundance itself, to
Mm.
universal supply. You're making this powerful statement of faith that your ultimate source isn't your job or the economy, but spirit, infinite supply.
That shifts the whole perspective on giving.
It really does. So every time you tithe, or even just give a gift, make a donation, you must water that precious seed with your word.
Water the seed. Okay, how? What do you say?
You speak a declaration over it with quiet authority. Something like, I give this joyfully and freely to the principle of universal supply.
Acknowledging the source.
Yes, this is my statement of faith in my infinite and unfailing source. This seed is blessed, and by law, it must return to me multiplied.
Claiming the return.
Yes, I command this seed to produce an abundant harvest in perfect divine timing, under grace, and in a perfect way.
So again, you're not losing money.
You are investing it.
That's it.
Investing it in a divine cosmic system that is designed for guaranteed multiplication when you operate it correctly.
Word, circulation, assumption, tithing with word. These first four laws really feel like they build momentum.
They absolutely do. They start creating this immense, almost unstoppable forward momentum energetically. But the fifth law, this one is like the guardian.
A guardian.
Yeah, the guardian that ensures you don't unconsciously sabotage your own progress from the inside.
Ah, self-sabotage. We all know that one.
Don't we, Jess? This is the law of agreement.
Agreement, meaning agreement with
Yourself, primarily. You simply cannot create a life of abundance while you are in a state of internal civil war. We talked about that earlier.
right, the conflicting beliefs.
True creative power is born from sacred harmony. A complete coherence between what you consciously say you want,
Mm,
what your subconscious mind believes is true and possible for you,
okay.
and what you genuinely, deeply expect to happen. All three need to align
And most people violate this law constantly.
constantly without realizing it.
Yeah.
They might affirm wealth in the morning
Yeah, do their affirmations.
and then spend the rest of the day completely consumed with worry about bills, anxiety about lack,
Sending mixed signals.
totally scrambled, confusing signals to the universe. It's like trying to tune into a clear radio station while you're simultaneously broadcasting loud static on the exact same frequency.
It cancels itself out.
It absolutely does.
And often this happens because we've made these silent but really powerful agreements with lack over our lives, haven't we?
Unconscious contracts.
Through family patterns, maybe, that normalize struggle, cultural messages about money,
Oh, definitely.
and just our own repeated negative thoughts. We've basically signed these unconscious contracts with limitation.
That's a great way to put it. Sign contracts with limitation.
So the journey to inner agreement,
Hmm.
it requires a conscious, deliberate ceremony of release, doesn't it?
It really does. A conscious choice to break those old agreements.
You have to, like, metaphorically burn your old contract.
Yes, I love that visual. Burn the old contracts.
Maybe find a quiet moment, close your eyes, and actually visualize those old yellowed scrolls of parchment, right?
Mm,
With words written on them like, it will always be hard for me, or I'm just not worthy of wealth, or money is the root of all evil.
Whatever those limiting beliefs are for you.
See them clearly, maybe thank them for whatever lesson they taught you, however hard,
Yes, acknowledge them.
and then imagine this beautiful sacred fire. Place each one of those old contracts into the flames and just watch it dissolve into shimmering ash.
Feel the release.
Yes. And as the last one dissolves, take a really deep breath and declare out loud or inwardly, they no longer have any power over me. I am free. I now take a new, clean scroll of pure light, and upon it, I write my new contract, sealed in my heart. I am in sacred agreement with infinite abundance, divine ease, and joyful prosperity.
Claiming the new reality.
This is my new agreement. This is my new truth, and so it is. And just feel that shift. You can declare your freedom right now. I choose new agreements.
That process of releasing old agreements and establishing new ones is
Yeah.
it's profound. And this profound internal alignment, it clears the way for what might be the most foundational law of all.
Okay.
The one that governs not just what you have, but who you actually get to be.
Who you get to be. Wow.
That's the law of identity.
Identity.
You can only attract, receive, and crucially sustain what your core identity can actually hold.
Sustain. That's key.
It is. Your life is always a reflection, not of what you merely want, but of who you deeply fundamentally believe you are.
So if you see yourself as a struggler,
Then the universe, in its infinite love and precision, really has no choice but to honor that self-concept. It mirrors it back to you through circumstances.
that explains why sometimes lottery winners lose it all, maybe.
That's often cited as a perfect example. Their external reality suddenly drastically exceeded their internal identity of someone who doesn't have much money or someone who isn't good with money. The identity couldn't hold the new reality.
So the transformation has to happen on the identity level first.
Yes, identity change must precede reality change. You don't wait for your bank account to look different before you start feeling wealthy or abundant inside.
You choose the identity first.
You consciously choose and then embody your new identity first.
Okay, so give me an example. Instead of the old identity, like, I'm just not good with money,
A common one.
your new identity statement could be, I am a masterful, joyful steward of abundance. Money loves me, trusts me, and flows to me easily and consistently.
Yes. Or instead of thinking, oh, rich people are somehow different from me,
Right, separating yourself?
try embodying, I am wealth in motion. I am an heir to the kingdom, as Shin might say, and my inheritance is limitless.
You have to speak from this new identity.
Speak from it, think from it, make decisions from it. Ask yourself, what would the wealthy version of me do right now? This is about upgrading the very foundation of who you are, like at a cellular and spiritual level.
So the action is to claim your new self. I am wealth in motion.
Claim it, live from it. And now, having laid all this groundwork, we arrive at the final law.
A seventh one.
Well, the sixth one we discussed was identity, and before that, agreement, tiding, assumption, circulation, word. So this might be considered the seventh principle, or perhaps the overarching one. It's the keystone.
Okay, the keystone that holds it all together.
Exactly. It holds the entire divine architecture together. It's the law that turns all this knowledge into wisdom and then turns wisdom into actual tangible results.
Okay, this sounds crucial.
It is. It's the law of obedience.
Obedience. That word can sound a bit heavy.
It can. I understand that.
Wow.
But this final law really determines whether all the others we've talked about will produce lasting, sustainable results for you, or if they just remain interesting but kind of fleeting ideas.
Making it stick.
Yes. It reveals that you cannot truly enter into that sacred agreement with your supply, with abundance, if you refuse to consistently obey the spiritual laws that govern it.
So it's not about blind obedience.
No, not about rigid, fearful obedience to some punishing force out there. Think of it more like a loving, graceful, and intelligent alignment with the universal principles that literally create worlds.
Aligning with how things actually work.
Exactly. It's not even about perfection. Nobody's perfect. It's about the rhythm of divine obedience.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Okay. Rhythm and consistency over perfection. That feels more doable.
Much more doable. And this consistency, even if it's imperfect, creates this powerful momentum that eventually actually becomes effortless.
Really? Effortless.
Eventually, yes. The soul who practices these laws imperfectly but does it consistently, day in, day out, they will always achieve more, ultimately, than the one who applies them perfectly, maybe one Sunday a month, but then forgets about them.
That makes sense. Sporadic effort doesn't build momentum.
Exactly. So this is where we bring it all together. How do you live this?
Yeah, what's a practical rhythm?
Maybe for the next 7 days, you could commit to a simple but really profoundly effective rhythm of practice.
Okay.
Each morning, maybe first thing, declare your truth for the day. Embody that law of assumption. Today I walk as the one who is already whole and abundant.
Start the day in that energy.
Yes. Then throughout your day, just be a vigilant guardian of your mind. Honor the law of agreement and the law of identity.
Notice the old thoughts.
Notice them.
No.
And each time a thought of fear or lack arises, gently but firmly replace it with your new truth. Nope, that is an old story. My new identity is wealth in motion. I am in sacred agreement with abundance.
Rewriting the script in real time.
Exactly. And as your day closes, maybe consciously activate the law of circulation and the law of tithing with word. When you spend money or even receive it, speak your declaration of increase over every financial transaction, silently or aloud.
Keeping the energy moving and bless.
And then you can seal all of your sacred practice for the day with the ultimate unwavering truth of this law of obedience. Maybe speak this powerful statement aloud into the quiet of your room just before you sleep. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me.
Wow, that's bold.
It is. Because I walk in alignment, prosperity must seek me out. My loving and consistent obedience commands my abundance.
That single declaration, it really shifts you, doesn't it? From a place of hoping or maybe even begging.
Yes, to a place of quiet, powerful spiritual authority. You're stating how it is because you're aligning with the laws.
The laws are always at work anyway.
Always. They're working in your life right now, whether you're aware of them or not. But now you hold the power to consciously work with them, not against them.
It's a choice.
You have the choice to become the one who enters into that sacred agreement with their supply, rather than being someone who feels like they're always chasing it from a place of fear or lack.
That's a profound shift in perspective.
It truly is. And maybe as you leave this deep dive today, just carry this one final provocative thought with you. Let it be like a gentle guiding compass for your week. Just ask yourself, who would I be? What would I do? And how would I feel if I truly deeply knew that the entire universe was conspiring for my good?
If I knew it.
If you knew it, bone deep,
Yeah.
and then try to live from that answer. Just see what happens.
That's a beautiful question to live into.
Thank you truly for your engagement today and for your readiness for this deeper transformation. It's powerful work.
It really is. And if this depth dive has resonated with you, if you're feeling ready to explore even more of these powerful teachings from Florence Scovel Shinn, we actually have a related video that complements today's topic perfectly. It dives even deeper into how your spiritual identity really shapes your material reality.
Yeah, that's a great next step.
So just click on the end screen video showing up now, or you can find the link in the description below to continue your journey.
Keep exploring.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Beloved, you are standing at the edge of an hour that heaven itself has chosen. The air around you hums with unseen preparation. Angels are arranging, doors are unlocking, and divine currents are shifting in your favor. This is not ordinary time. This is the appointed hour of release. For years, you may have spoken the words, "I am ready," yet heaven waited for your vibration to match your vision. And now it does. You have spoken long enough from fear. Now you speak from faith. You have asked long enough from lack. Now you command from divine authority. Before this hour ends, the unseen will become seen. The delay will dissolve. The 1,000 blessing that carries your name will find you, not by effort, not by chase, but by divine alignment. Listen, child of spirit. God never forgets the seed you sowed in faith. Every prayer, every tear, every act of giving was recorded in divine memory. And when the hour is right, the law of return begins its perfect motion. This is that hour. You have entered the vibration where heaven and earth cooperate. The invisible is organizing the visible. The supply you once called impossible is now tracing its way to you through divine channels, through people, ideas, opportunities, and sudden turns that only God could script. It is written, at the appointed time, I the Lord will make it happen. And I declare to you now that appointed time is this hour. You are not waiting for Warzanders Nalos and Zalzan to appear. Thousand Zalzanos is waiting for you to believe. When faith speaks, mountains move. When conviction replaces confusion, the universe bends to obey divine decree. So breathe deeply now. Inhale divine assurance, exhale human doubt. Each breath aligns you with the rhythm of God's timing. You are not late. You are right on schedule. Repeat softly within yourself, before this hour ends, I align with divine supply. Money is not a struggle, it is a servant of divine purpose. 1,000 is not beyond me. It is within my divine inheritance. You are the heir of infinite substance. And the substance of all wealth flows, where it is welcomed with peace. When Florence Scovel Shinn spoke of divine law, she said, the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. And so, the thoughts you hold right now, these sacred thoughts of abundance, are creating your hour of return. You once gave in faith, now you shall receive in fullness. You once believed in hope, now you shall see the manifestation. For divine law never forgets a seed planted in love. Beloved, understand this truth: the law does not rush, but it never fails. It may appear slow to the human eye, but to divine order, everything arrives exactly when it must. The same way dawn breaks not a second too soon nor a heartbeat too late, your $1,000,000 miracle arrives on perfect time. This time, perhaps you once said, "I missed my chance," but Spirit whispers, there are no missed chances in divine order, only redirections toward your right path. And now that path is clear. You are walking into the hour of answered prayer. Close your eyes and see it. See the email you've been waiting for. See the opportunity unfolding effortlessly. See your bank account lighting up with divine increase. See yourself signing, receiving, celebrating. Not someday, not later, now. Because divine law is motion, not delay. Every time you align your feeling with your faith, the motion accelerates. Every time you release doubt and choose declaration, your supply comes closer. You do not chase wealth, because what is yours cannot run from you. You magnetize it through vibration, expectation, and gratitude. And gratitude is the secret key. Say aloud, with the voice of certainty, I give thanks that wandern zausundern zosen now flows to me through channels known and unknown. I give thanks that before this hour ends, divine supply fulfills itself perfectly. As you speak, the universe records. Every decree is a command to substance. Every affirmation sends divine messengers into motion. Remember, child of spirit, money is not material, it is spiritual substance. It is energy wearing form. It obeys the same laws as faith, as love, as breath. You breathe in assurance, and you breathe out manifestation. Florence said, there is no such thing as lack, only lack of faith. So you release the idea of not enough, and replace it with the knowing, everything I need is already mine in divine substance. In this moment, you are not a beggar, you are a creator, not a victim, a vessel, not a seeker, a receiver. The divine hour has begun, and you are standing in the middle of its unfolding. The spirit within you has heard every silent request. The law has already set the stage. The 1,000,000 blessing is already walking toward you on invisible feet. Can you feel it? The gentle quickening in your heart, the whisper that says, this time is different. That whisper is divine confirmation. It is heaven's way of saying, yes, beloved, it's your turn. So rise in consciousness now. Speak with the authority of divine law. What belongs to me by right of consciousness cannot be taken away. I am in perfect alignment with the $1,000,000 flow of God. Every barrier dissolves before my faith. You do not need to figure out the how. You only need to hold the vibration of done. For when the mind asks, how? Faith answers, watch. Beloved, this hour is your turning point. You will look back and say, something shifted in that moment. The atmosphere around you is alive with divine order. The people you need are being guided toward you. The opportunities you've prayed for are adjusting course to meet your energy. All you must do is remain still in faith. Not still in fear, but still in knowing. For stillness is power. When you are still, you are declaring, I trust divine law more than my timeline. And divine law loves to prove itself faithful to the one who waits with praise instead of panic. You are now walking in the field of miracles, where every step glows with expectancy. Your faith is magnetic, your gratitude is electric, your word is creative. Listen, heaven is not debating your worthiness. It is delivering your blessing. The law has no resistance to one who believes. And you believe now, completely, deeply, without fear. So say with me now, I am rich in divine supply. 1,000 is not coming, it is here. Before this hour ends, everything shifts in my favor. I walk in miracles because I walk in faith. And so it is. Now, feel peace settle in. The hour has already begun its work. The angels are not hurrying. Yet they are moving faster than you imagine. Divine timing is not waiting, it is unfolding. When you leave this moment, do not return to worry. Do not reopen doors you've already closed. Simply walk as one who knows. Not hopes, not wishes, but knows that heaven has already moved. Because when the divine hour begins, nothing can stop its completion. The law that governs the stars now governs your supply. The hand that painted the sky now writes your name beside 30,000 in divine order. So breathe once more, smile as one who has already received, and whisper softly, "Thank you, God. It is done. The divine hour has begun. And before this hour ends, your $1,000,000 blessing will find you, under grace, in perfect ways, through channels seen and unseen. It is already on its way, and so it is. Beloved, now that you have entered the divine hour, you must learn to speak as one who knows the power of the word. For the spoken word is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is not mere sound, it is vibration, and vibration is creation. Every word you utter is a seed, and the soil of the universe does not discriminate. It takes what you say, and it makes it so. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Your word is your wand. It creates the conditions of your life. When you speak with fear, you conjure delay. When you speak with faith, you conjure miracles." The universe listens to tone, to certainty, to vibration, not to grammar or effort. The one who says, "I am rich in divine supply," while feeling it in their bones, sends a command to substance itself. And substance, that spiritual matter from which all money, opportunities, and blessings are born, rushes to obey. So I say to you now, before this hour ends, let your words become your miracle. When you speak, imagine the air around you lighting up with golden energy. Each syllable is a spark, shaping reality as it leaves your lips. Your words are not empty breath. They are divine law in motion. The very sound of your faith is currency in the unseen realm. Say it softly, then stronger. I am now aligned with the wealth of heaven. 1,000 is not beyond me, it is within me. I release every word of lack, and I speak only increase. As you declare, feel your chest expand with light. For the tongue holds the power of life and death, and you, child of spirit, are here to speak life over your finances, your destiny, your divine supply. You may not yet see it, but every time you affirm abundance, invisible messengers move. Your words are the blueprints heaven builds from what you say. When you say, "I can't afford," you build a wall. When you say, "I am divinely provided for," you open a gate. So today, let us tear down every wall built by careless speech. Every time you said, "I'm broke," "I'm struggling," money doesn't come easy. The law took it as truth. But divine law also allows correction. When you repent of your old declarations, not through guilt, but through new words, you rewrite your world. Say aloud now, "Every idle word of lack I ever spoke is now null and void. I replace them with divine decrees of abundance." From this moment forward, my mouth becomes the instrument of miracles. Beloved, this is not superstition. It is spiritual science. Florence taught that words are electromagnetic. They send a signal into the ether, attracting matching experiences. To say, "I am abundant," is not denial of your current reality. It is the declaration of your higher one. You are not lying when you say, "I am rich." You are prophesying what already exists in divine substance. Money responds to language. It listens for appreciation, not desperation. It flows toward those who bless it, not those who fear it. So stop saying, "Money never stays." Instead decree, "Money loves me and multiplies for me." Every affirmation is a command written on the fabric of divine mind. Every declaration is a law sent forth to organize reality around your belief. Hear the words of Scripture. "Let there be light." That was not a request, it was a decree. God spoke light into existence, and light obeyed. You are made in that same divine image, endowed with the same creative authority. When you speak wealth, the energy of wealth begins to gather around you. When you speak peace, circumstances bend to create it. And so, let your tongue no longer echo fear. Let it thunder with faith. Repeat after me, with reverence and certainty. I speak only what I wish to see. I decree that $1,000 now circulates through my life in divine order. Money comes to me quickly, easily, under grace, and in perfect ways. My words are magnetic, my faith is law. A now pause. Feel the stillness after those words, that holy silence. That silence is creation listening. You must learn to hold your peace after a decree, for in that silence, the universe rearranges itself. Do not cancel your command with doubt. Do not rush to fill the quiet with fear. Once spoken, divine law needs no reminder. It only needs your trust. Florence said, man's word is his wand filled with magic and power. Magic here means law in action, faith taking form. You are not waiting for your word to work. Your word begins its work the moment it is spoken. Perhaps in the past, you prayed with hope but spoke with fear. You said, I believe, yet also whispered, what if it doesn't happen? But now, your word is pure. Your decree is unwavering. You are not begging. You are commanding with divine authority, as in hair of infinite substance. Say again slowly and firmly, I am rich in mind, rich in faith, rich in divine supply. Every word I speak multiplies my good. Before this hour ends, my thousand blessing finds me. Feel that power move through your voice. That's divine energy aligning to your tone. Do not underestimate the softness of your voice. Even a whisper, when filled with faith, can move mountains. The power lies not in volume but in vibration. When you speak these words daily, morning and night, you are planting living seeds in the soil of the universe. Some sprout quickly, others take time, but all grow if watered with gratitude. Beloved, words are like spiritual currency. Every time you speak with conviction, you deposit energy into your account of abundance. Every negative word is a withdrawal, every positive word is a deposit. The balance you carry in consciousness determines what manifests in form. So ask yourself, what have I been saying lately? Have I been speaking life or limitation? Blessing or burden? If your words have been filled with worry, now is the time to change your vocabulary. The language of heaven is not fear, it is faith. You must speak as though your miracle has already occurred. Speak as if the check has already cleared, the opportunity already opened, the blessing already arrived. Because in the divine realm, it already has. Affirm now with steady conviction, I give thanks that my words manifest instantly and perfectly. Every sentence I speak is alive with creative power. I decree that my voice now commands $1,000 and in divine circulation. My words are backed by the authority of God, and they cannot return void. A yes, feel that power rising within you. You are remembering who you are, a divine creator, not a passive observer. Florence wrote, no man is a success in any field unless he speaks success into being. So speak success, speak wealth, speak healing, speak opportunity. Say it until your cells believe it. I am the voice of divine abundance. I call forth wealth by the law of faith. Every word I speak multiplies my money, my peace, my joy. When you speak, heaven listens. The vibration travels farther than your imagination can measure. It moves through air, through spirit, through consciousness, until it lands upon the field of form. And there it blooms. Your thousand miracle is not coming from outside. It is responding to your word inside. Each affirmation you speak is a note in the symphony of your manifestation, and the universe is the orchestra, faithfully playing the tune you conduct. So choose your music wisely. Do not speak chaos and expect harmony. Speak harmony and watch chaos dissolve. Every word is a seed. Every seed carries a harvest, and your harvest is now. So stand tall in your divine authority and decree this truth once more. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. The wealth of God flows through me freely, joyfully, endlessly. Before this hour ends, I receive the manifestation of $1,000. I speak it, I believe it, I live it, and so it is. Breathe, smile as one who has just spoken destiny into being. For in the divine order of things, your decree has already been written. The angels have taken note. The law has begun to move. Your word has gone forth and will not return void. It will prosper in the thing whereunto you sent it. And before this hour ends, you shall see signs, subtle or grand, that your spoken word has activated divine law. Watch for it, expect it, give thanks for it. You have learned the secret Florence knew. That speech is not small. Speech is sacred. Speech is power. Speech is creation. And when you use it with faith, heaven cannot help but respond. So speak, beloved, speak wealth, and wealth will rise to meet you. Speak peace, and peace will fill your days. Speak miracles, and miracles will walk through your door. Because you are not waiting for magic. You are the magic, clothed in sound, crowned with spirit, chosen to call forth divine supply into visible form. Before this hour ends, the law of your spoken word will fulfill itself. The 100,000 blessing is already echoing your decree. You spoke it. You sealed it. And now, it must appear, and so it is. Beloved, every miracle that reaches you first passes through a gate called preparation. Faith calls, readiness receives. Divine supply can never arrive where there is no space to dwell. And so heaven whispers, make room for what you've asked for. You have spoken the word, and your decree has gone forth. The angels have heard. The law has obeyed. But now the question is, can you hold what you've summoned? Can your heart, your habits, and your home contain the vibration of $1 million blessing? Preparation is not striving, it is surrender. It is the gentle rearranging of your inner world until it becomes a match for what you desire. Before the harvest appears in the field, the soil must be tilled. The farmer doesn't pray for rain with hard, closed earth. He loosens it, he clears it, he makes it receptive. So must you loosen the soil of your consciousness. Every fear, every doubt, every belief that whispers, I'm not ready, must be released. For divine law never withholds. It only waits for readiness. Readiness is not measured by worthiness but by openness. God never asks, do you deserve? He asks, are you available? But say softly within, I am available for abundance. I am prepared for prosperity. I have cleared the space for 100,000 to flow easily to me. Look around your life. What do you keep that declares lack? Old bills displayed like trophies of struggle, clutter that speaks of fear, conversations soaked in worry. These are altars to limitation. Clear them lovingly, not in shame but in faith. As you release, you declare, I trust divine supply to refill this space with better. Florence wrote, clean the windows of your mind, and the sun will stream in. Preparation is that cleaning. It is dusting away the memories of failure, washing off the fingerprints of fear. For spirit cannot dwell in confusion, it rests in clarity. So prepare your environment as if the miracle were already here. Set your table for prosperity. Organize your finances as though 100,000 were already flowing through your accounts. Give every dollar you currently have the respect of abundance. Bless it when you spend it. Fold it neatly. Track it joyfully. When you treat the little with honor, the law multiplies it into the great. Preparation is a language that heaven understands. When you act as if, you signal belief. When you tidy your world, the universe says, they expect me. Imagine a guest of honor arriving to a house half ready, beds unmade, lights off, no space prepared. Would the guest feel welcomed? So it is with divine supply. It knocks where faith has left the door open. And how do you prepare spiritually? By forgiving. Forgiveness is spiritual housekeeping. Every grudge is clutter in the chamber where miracles wish to rest. When you release resentment, you sweep the soul clean. You cannot hold $1 million blessings in a heart heavy with bitterness. So let it go. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Say gently, I forgive and free all. I am forgiven and free. Nothing and no one stands between me and my divine inheritance. I release the past and make room for my $1 million future. Preparation also means expectation in motion. Expectation is invisible furniture. You set it up before the blessing arrives. Begin to imagine what it feels like to live already provided for. Walk through your home as one whose needs are met, whose cup overflows, whose every step is ordered by abundance. Perhaps you used to say, when I have money, I will give. Reverse it, because I give, I always have money. Small acts of generosity polish the mirror of faith. You are training the universe to trust you with more. And as you give with joy. Not as loss, but as circulation. Florence said, giving opens the way for receiving. Each dollar released with gratitude circles back multiplied. The river that refuses to flow becomes a swamp, so too the soul that hoards. Therefore, prepare by circulating what you have: time, love, talent, gratitude. Circulation is not subtraction, it is multiplication through motion. Now, prepare your words as well. Do they harmonize with your desire, or do they cancel it? Speak only what aligns with wealth consciousness. Replace, I'm trying with I am doing. Replace someday with no. The universe responds to clarity, not confusion. When you rise each morning, greet the day like a house awaiting divine guests. Say, "Good morning, abundance. I've been expecting you." And when you lie down at night, rest as one whose deliveries are already on the way. Faith sleeps peacefully. Doubt tosses and turns. Preparation also happens in the imagination. See yourself signing papers, holding checks, blessing others. The subconscious mind believes whatever picture it is given repeatedly. Paint your walls with faith. In every vision, include gratitude. It is the color that makes the picture come alive. Say aloud, "I imagine wealth because imagination is the workshop of miracles." Every image I hold manifests under grace and in perfect ways. Now, beloved, remember, preparation is not performance. You are not earning the miracle, you are aligning with it. Divine law does not require strain, it requires structure. The ocean does not need to chase its waves, it only shapes the shore to receive them. So too, shape the shores of your consciousness. Let peace be your container, gratitude your anchor, and faith your foundation. For when the $1,000,000 tide arrives, it will rise to the level of your readiness. Ask yourself, if $1,000 arrived in my account this hour, would I know how to receive it without fear? Would I bless it or doubt it? Would I expand or contract? Your honest answer reveals the next layer of preparation. If fear arises, speak gently to it. I am safe with abundance. If guilt whispers, remind it, money is the servant of good, not the master of greed. The divine plan never gives you what will harm you, it gives what you can handle with grace. As you prepare, your capacity expands. Florence said, "No man can receive more than he is prepared to receive." Therefore, preparation is prosperity in training. Every time you organize, forgive, bless, imagine, you are stretching the vessel. Let your mind dwell on this affirmation until it becomes your atmosphere. I am perfectly prepared for my $1,000,000 blessing. Every cell of my being is open to receive. I handle wealth with wisdom, generosity, and grace. And notice how peace settles when you say it. That peace is evidence of alignment. Worry is resistance. Peace is permission. Do not confuse waiting with wasting. Waiting in faith is active preparation. It is tending to your spiritual garden, knowing the rain is on its way. The farmer who sows does not dig up the seed each day to check progress. He trusts the process. So must you. The divine law does not delay. It sequences. It arranges. It aligns. You are being positioned now for effortless reception. People, places, and pathways are adjusting for your arrival. The supply is not far, it is forming. Prepare also your speech toward others. Speak abundance into their lives too. For what you bless in another, you multiply in yourself. Say, "May everyone around me prosper, and through their prosperity, I prosper too." Such words create a magnetic field of generosity that pulls heaven closer, and when signs begin to appear, small increase, unexpected favor, an idea, a message, acknowledge them immediately. That is part of preparation recognition. Gratitude sharpens your sight to see what faith has summoned. Before this hour ends, something within you will shift. You will feel lighter, clearer, ready. That feeling is not fantasy, it is divine confirmation. Spirit never prepares you for nothing. It prepares you for manifestation. So breathe, beloved. You have cleared the clutter, forgiven the past, aligned your words, opened your heart. The door is now unlocked. You are no longer waiting outside your miracle. You are standing inside its atmosphere. Repeat softly, "I am ready now. My preparation is complete. Before this hour ends, divine law fulfills itself in my favor." Feel those words settle into stillness. That stillness is your readiness made visible. The law of preparation is complete when peace replaces pressure. When you no longer ask, "When?" because your heart already knows, now. And at now the universe moves. The hour advances. The blessing approaches. For the vessel is ready. The table is set. The soul is open. Before this hour ends, your $1,000,000 blessing will not search for you. It will find you. Because preparation has made you magnetic. Because faith has made you worthy. Because divine order has declared, "It is time." And so it is. Beloved, now that you have prepared your vessel, it is time to understand the movement of divine supply. For money, like air, was never meant to be trapped. It must circulate, to breathe, to move, to bless, to return. When you understand the law of circulation, you understand the heartbeat of the universe itself. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Giving opens the way for receiving. For what you give, you receive." This is not moral suggestion, it is cosmic design. Life itself is circulation. The tide that goes out always returns. The heart that beats in rhythm gives and receives every second. The lungs fill and empty, never clinging, never withholding. So it is with divine wealth. Money is not something to chase nor something to fear losing. It is energy in motion, and when you bless its movement, it multiplies. When you cling, it contracts. When you bless, it expands. You are meant to live like a river, not a reservoir. The river flows, and in its flow, it stays alive. The reservoir, stagnant and fearful, gathers debris. The wealthy soul understands this. What I give returns multiplied. Say softly now, I am one with the rhythm of divine circulation. Every dollar that leaves my hand returns to me tenfold, under grace, in perfect ways. Money flows through me, not away from me. The moment you release something in faith, whether a gift, a tithe, an act of service, or even a smile, you trigger a return through the same invisible law. You cannot outgive God. You cannot bless without being blessed. Every generous thought sends a current of prosperity around the world that circles back home. If fear tells you, you must hold tighter, answer gently. I hold in trust, not in tension. For divine supply cannot rest in a clenched fist. Beloved, money is spiritual. It is not coins or paper. It is concentrated life energy, a symbol of flow. When you spend it, do not mourn, bless it. Speak to it as Florence taught, go forth and bless. Return multiplied and fulfilled. Every purchase becomes a prayer when spoken with gratitude. When you pay a bill, say, I give thanks that this bill is paid in divine order and that money returns multiplied. When you give to others, say, I send this forth with joy, knowing it will circle back in perfect timing. Every word of blessing greases the wheels of circulation. You may say, but Florence, I have little to give. And the universe answers, start with what you have. For divine law does not measure the size of your gift, it measures the spirit in which it is given. A single coin blessed with faith carries more magnetic power than a fortune given with fear. Florence wrote, man's supply is inexhaustible when he trusts God. So long as you believe in lack, you dam the river. So long as you believe in flow, you open its gates. The law of circulation is always working. Even now, every inhale is a receiving, every exhale, a giving. You never worry, will there be enough air? Because you trust the rhythm. Apply that same trust to your finances. Say aloud, as I breathe, I receive. As I give, I grow. Money comes easily, goes joyfully, and returns abundantly. When fear whispers, what if it doesn't come back? Remind it gently, it must. Divine law guarantees the return. The universe cannot leave an act of love unrewarded. Consider nature, the rain falls, the soil drinks, the river carries, the ocean rises, the clouds form, and again the rain returns. The circle is sacred. Money moves in that same holy pattern. You are not meant to stop the circle. You are meant to dance with it. Give without trembling. Receive without guilt. Beloved, guilt is one of the greatest blocks to circulation. So many souls secretly believe that receiving more makes them selfish or unspiritual. But Florence said, God is the giver of all good gifts. He delights in your abundance. When you receive with joy, you honor the giver. Receiving is as sacred as giving. To deny what is offered is to break the circle. When someone blesses you, do not say, oh, you shouldn't have. Say, thank you, God, for showing me your generosity through this person. The more joyfully you receive, the wider the channel becomes. Divine supply loves appreciation. It flows where it is welcomed, not where it is resisted. So prepare your heart to give and receive with equal grace. You are a conduit, not a container. Let money pass through you like light through crystal, glowing, refracting, multiplying. Florence often compared giving to planting seeds. You do not throw away the seed, you invest it. You trust the soil to do its work. When you give, do so with the same calm certainty that a harvest must follow. If you've ever watched a tree, You'll notice it never fears losing its leaves. It lets them fall, knowing spring will return with new life. So must you release what no longer serves, trusting that divine season will bring increase again. Say softly, I release freely, I receive fully. Every act of giving expands my wealth. The law of circulation is now active in my life. Now, beloved, there is another kind of giving, not only of money, but of spirit. When you give encouragement, forgiveness, kindness, you are sowing invisible seeds of prosperity. These seeds often bloom in unexpected ways. A new client, a sudden opportunity, a divine idea that leads to increase. Never underestimate how quickly divine circulation returns your energy. Sometimes it's not the same form. What you give in money may return as healing, peace, or open doors. But always it returns multiplied. Florence taught, whatever man gives out, he receives back. It is law, not chance. So release fear of loss. The only thing you can ever lose is the illusion of separation from supply. The wealthy soul blesses both giving and receiving. When you pay, say, thank you for the privilege to circulate divine supply. When you receive, say, thank you for the privilege to complete divine circulation. This is how money becomes holy. This is how prosperity becomes perpetual. Beloved, listen closely. The one who clings to every dollar whispers, I don't trust God to return it. The one who gives with love proclaims, I trust divine order more than my balance. That trust is magnetic. The universe rushes to reward it. When you spend, smile. When you donate, rejoice. When you give, imagine your hand glowing with light, sending love into the flow of humanity. That love transforms every transaction into worship. You are not losing money. You are letting it travel the world, carrying your energy. And that energy always returns home bearing gifts. Say aloud, money blessed is money multiplied. Every dollar I touch becomes a messenger of prosperity. Before this hour ends, divine circulation will return to me 1,000-fold. You are now entering effortless flow. The tide of divine abundance is moving through you, clearing fear, restoring faith. If ever you feel constricted, remember to breathe. The breath itself is a teacher. It reminds you that holding forever is death, but releasing is life. So too with wealth, let it breathe through you. Let it sing through giving. Let it whisper through gratitude. You may be surprised at how quickly this law responds. A forgotten debt repaid, a new opportunity offered, a gift appearing seemingly out of nowhere. Yet nothing is coincidence, all is circulation. When the flow increases, resist the urge to tighten. Praise instead. Praise keeps the current open. Gratitude is the oxygen of abundance. Say quietly, I bless every outgoing cent and every incoming stream. The universe is my supply, and circulation is its song. I live in the rhythm of give and receive, and I am never without. Now, beloved, imagine yourself standing beside a great ocean, the ocean of divine substance. You scoop a handful of water, you share it, and instantly more fills your palm. You could never empty that ocean. So it is with God's abundance. Do not ask, when will it end? Ask, how can I let it flow through me more beautifully? For the law of circulation is infinite, and your part in it is joy. You have learned the art of giving, the grace of receiving, and the peace of flow. The dam has broken. The tide has turned. The river of wealth is in motion. Before this hour ends, you will feel its evidence. Perhaps a call, an idea, a shift. A sign that money and miracles are circling back. Bless it when it comes. Bless it when it goes. Keep the current alive through gratitude. And as Florence said, what man gives out in love, he receives back multiplied in love. So give, receive, circulate. You are the breath of abundance in motion. You are the rhythm of heaven expressed through finance. You are the living proof that divine law never stops. It flows. And in this holy flow, beloved, your $1,000,000 blessing is not delayed. It is circulating toward you now, under grace, in perfect ways, through channels seen and unseen. And so it is, beloved. The final key that unlocks the vault of heaven is gratitude. It is the sacred magnet that draws every answered prayer into your hands. Gratitude is not an emotion, it is a law, an invisible current that pulls your blessings from potential into presence. When you are thankful before seeing, you prove to divine law that you already believe. Florence Scovel Shinn said, blessing brings increase. Cursing brings loss. And so, when you bless what you have, you multiply it. When you bless what is on its way, you accelerate it. When you give thanks for 10,000 before it appears, you set divine law in motion that cannot be reversed. Gratitude is the voice of receiving. It is saying, I have already been chosen. The supply is already mine. It's not waiting for proof. It is the proof. So, beloved, close your eyes now. Feel your heart soften. Imagine that the $1,000,000 blessing you have spoken of, prayed for, prepared for, and circulated has now arrived. Feel the weight of divine abundance in your hands. Feel the warmth of answered prayer glowing in your chest. Let your heart whisper the words the universe longs to hear. Thank you, God. Thank you, infinite supply. Thank you for fulfilling your promise. That thankfulness is not a formality. It is a frequency. The moment you say thank you, the law of manifestation completes its circle. Heaven and earth join hands. Florence wrote, man should give thanks continually for having received all good things. Not some things, not occasional things. All good things. Gratitude keeps the current open, ingratitude closes it. Every complaint slows the flow, but every praise multiplies the pace of miracles. So begin to give thanks for every sign of supply. Not only the large but the small. Thank God for the check in the mail, but also for the idea that leads to increase. Thank God for the opportunity, but also for the delay that protected you from loss. Gratitude turns everything into gold. Say softly, I am thankful for what I have. I am thankful for what is coming. I am thankful that 100,000 now flows to me under grace, in perfect ways. A gratitude transforms waiting into worship. It transforms fear into faith. It turns ordinary moments into miracles. The law of gratitude is simple. Whatever you thank grows stronger in your life. When you thank peace, peace increases. When you thank money, money multiplies. When you thank love, love expands. Beloved, the secret is to thank God not for what you see, but for what you know. You may not yet hold the $1,000,000 in your physical hand, but in divine substance, it is already complete. Gratitude simply calls it forth from the invisible into the visible. Florence said, the invisible forces are working for the man who acts as though he already had what he asked for. So act grateful now. Speak as if it is already yours. Smile as if heaven has already delivered. Because it has. Every time you say, thank you, the unseen angels record it as completion. They mark your prayer as fulfilled. Gratitude is your spiritual signature. It signs the delivery slip of your miracle. When you wake in the morning, begin with thanksgiving. Thank you, God, that my life overflows with divine supply. Thank you that I am chosen, guided, and favored. Thank you that today, money finds me through channels known and unknown. When you lie down at night, end with gratitude. Thank you for every blessing seen and unseen. Thank you that before this day closed, divine law worked in my favor. Thank you that 100,000 in blessings is now circulating toward me. A gratitude turns time into manifestation. It collapses the distance between desire and fulfillment. For when you thank God in advance, you declare the manifestation complete. The law can do nothing but obey. Beloved, perhaps you wonder, how can I be thankful when I'm still waiting? The answer is simple. Because gratitude is not reaction. It is creation. You are not thanking for what happened. You are thanking for what is happening beyond sight. Faith does not need proof. It is the proof. Remember the story of Jesus before he multiplied the loaves. He didn't beg heaven to feed the people. He simply gave thanks. He lifted the few pieces he had and said, Ah, Father, I thank thee. And as he gave thanks, it multiplied. Gratitude was the miracle. So take what you have, however small, and lift it in praise. Say, thank you, God, that this is multiplied. Thank you that divine supply knows no limit. Watch as the same spiritual law that multiplied bread multiplies your finances. Florence often said, the game of life is played with a perfect knowledge of the law of supply. Gratitude is the move that always wins. It is the master key that unlocks all doors. Doors of opportunity, doors of favor, doors of provision, all swing open when approached with thanksgiving. There is no resistance in gratitude. There is only flow. You cannot be anxious and grateful in the same breath. One cancels the other. Gratitude dissolves worry because it affirms trust, and the universe rushes to confirm what you affirm. Say aloud now, I am grateful for my divine inheritance. I am grateful for the 1000 already manifest in my life. I am grateful for divine timing, divine people, divine paths. I am grateful because it is already done. The energy of gratitude is magnetic. When you walk in thankfulness, people feel it. Doors open easily. Opportunities recognize you. You become a living invitation for miracles. Gratitude makes you glow with divine favor. It also keeps you humble, not small, but surrendered. Gratitude says, this is not my doing, this is divine grace flowing through me. It aligns you with humility, and humility keeps the flow pure. Florence warned that pride blocks miracles. Pride says, I did this. Gratitude says, God did this through me. And in that surrender, the flow never ends. Beloved, as you give thanks, notice how peace fills your chest. That peace is heaven's confirmation. The anxious cannot receive, the peaceful already have. You have now moved beyond asking. You have entered receiving. Receiving is quiet, calm, assured. It does not reach, it rests. It knows that the package is already on its way. Imagine standing at your mailbox knowing a check has been sent. You do not panic or pace. You simply expect it. That is gratitude in action, confident rest in divine promise. Florence said, man should not ask if it is God's will for him to have prosperity. It is God's will that he be free from lack. Gratitude is your way of agreeing with that will. So, beloved, thank God for choosing you to demonstrate divine abundance. Thank Him for trusting you to steward wealth for good. Thank Him for the wisdom that comes with prosperity, for gratitude does not end when you receive, it grows stronger. When the 1000 appears, and it will, remember to continue the circle. Give thanks before you spend, before you share, before you plan. Let every action be an offering of gratitude. For what you thank, you sustain. What you ignore, you dissolve. Say softly, as though sealing your future with divine light, I am forever thankful. My gratitude opens doors that effort never could. I receive all good things with joy, and I release all fear with peace. Before this hour ends, gratitude completes the miracle in my favor. The law is exact, beloved. Gratitude finishes what faith begins. It is the final signature on the decree you've already spoken. Once gratitude is spoken, the universe must deliver. Now rest in it, smile. Feel the vibration of thanks humming through your body. This is divine alignment, your soul agreeing with heaven's supply. You have prepared, you have spoken, you have circulated, and now you have given thanks. The cycle of manifestation is complete. The law of supply has no more delay. The doors are open, the channels are clear, the blessing is moving. And before this hour ends, beloved, the 1000 you have believed for, prepared for, spoken for, and thanked for will appear in form, under grace, in perfect timing, in miraculous ways. Hold this truth. It is not coming, it is arriving. It is not waiting, it is unfolding. It is not uncertain, it is inevitable. Because gratitude has spoken the final word, and the universe has heard. So it is, so it always has been, so it shall ever be. Beloved, be still now. The air around you has changed. Something unseen has awakened. You can feel it, can't you? The vibration of answered prayer, the hum of divine fulfillment, the gentle movement of spiritual substance rearranging itself to bring you what you have called forth. This is the hour you were promised, the manifestation moment. For everything you have spoken, every word you have believed, every act of faith you have prepared for, all of it converges now. Heaven has aligned itself with your decree. Divine law has found its path. The $1 million blessing is no longer on its way. It is here, forming itself into the visible world. Before this hour ends, you will know that it was never a question of if, but when. And the when is now. Florence Scovel Shinn said, there is no time in divine mind, therefore, nothing can interfere with your demonstration. When faith reaches its peak vibration, time collapses. What was future becomes present. What was invisible becomes seen. What was distant becomes near. Beloved, that moment has arrived. You are standing in the center of divine motion, the perfect fulfillment of law. The energy you sent forth through your words, your gratitude, your preparation, and your giving has completed its orbit. The circle has closed, and now the result stands before you, shimmering on the threshold of the scene. Say softly, the divine law cannot fail. What belongs to me by right now manifests in perfect order. Before this hour ends, my first thousand blessing is revealed. Breathe slowly, deeply. With every breath, you feel the atmosphere around you thickening with expectancy. It's as though the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for your agreement, your final yes, and you say it now, with calm authority. Yes, God, I receive. The words hang in the air like a seal. They vibrate through your body, into your bones, into the field around you. You can almost see the golden energy flowing, rearranging, materializing, crystallizing. Do not strain, do not question. Simply feel. For feeling is the evidence of faith. Florence said, man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. So see it now. See your phone light up with divine opportunity. See your account balance overflow with increase. See the doors that were locked swinging open effortlessly. See yourself smiling, tears of joy in your eyes, whispering, it happened. It's real. God did it. Let that image live in you. Feel the emotions of completion, relief, joy, praise. Those emotions are creative power. The universe does not respond to words alone. It responds to vibration. Gratitude felt deeply creates faster than gratitude spoken casually. Beloved, right now, as you feel it, something shifts. The outer world is adjusting. Energy moves through people, through systems, through channels known and unknown to fulfill divine order. A call may come, an email may arrive, a long-forgotten opportunity may return. The blessing will not come through force. It will come through flow. Divine timing is subtle but certain. Florence said, nothing stands between man and his highest ideals but doubt and fear, so release both now. You no longer need them. You are safe in abundance. You are held in divine supply. Say aloud with holy boldness, fear has no power over me. Doubt dissolves before my faith. I am aligned with divine certainty, and divine certainty manifests as far as in thousand in my hands. You have become the channel. You are not waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle in motion. You have become one with the vibration of wealth, one with the law of supply, one with the very rhythm of creation. Can you feel the peace? That peace is not the absence of movement. It is the sound of manifestation completed. It is the stillness that comes when the prayer has become reality. Florence wrote, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. And so, beloved, act accordingly now. Walk as though you have it. Speak as though you have it. Think as though you have it. Because you do. Repeat after me, slowly, reverently. It is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled. These are not just words, they are spiritual contracts. The moment you speak them, the law seals your demonstration. See yourself now holding that first $1,000. Maybe it's a transfer, maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's a stream of blessings from multiple directions. The form does not matter. The essence does. And the essence is abundance, flowing, multiplying, blessing everyone it touches. Whisper with awe. Thank you, God, for trusting me with this miracle. I am a wise and joyful steward of divine wealth. I use this blessing for good, and good multiplies through me. In this moment, divine law activates generosity. The one who receives with gratitude also becomes a vessel to give. That is the eternal rhythm. Manifestation never ends with you, it flows through you. As you visualize your $1 million blessing, see yourself blessing others. Family, community, strangers' dreams. See yourself funding peace, healing, purpose. This image strengthens your vibration because divine supply always multiplies through purpose. Florence said, a gift to the Lord is multiplied in miraculous ways. When you use your wealth for good, you keep the energy pure. You keep the door open for more. Now, beloved, place your hand over your heart and declare, I am ready. I am worthy. I am chosen. My word has become flesh. My miracle has arrived. Let silence follow. In that silence, the divine energy locks into place. Every molecule of your being now vibrates in alignment with prosperity. Every cell radiates abundance. You are not hoping. You are knowing. This is the divine certainty that Florence spoke of. The faith that calls things that are not as though they were. You are walking in that faith now. The air around you is charged with power. The angels are rejoicing. The spiritual realm applauds because one more soul has remembered its dominion. And now, beloved, I want you to speak one of the most sacred decrees Florence ever used. Say it 3 times, each time with deeper conviction. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right now reach me in perfect order, under grace. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right now reach me in perfect order, under grace. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right now reach me in perfect order, under grace. Now release it. The decree has been spoken. The law has received the command. Florence said, there is a place that you are to fill, and no one else can fill. Something you are to do, which no one else can do. And so, this $1 million miracle is not just about money. It is about purpose. It comes to you because only you can channel it in the way heaven intends. You are the vessel, the expression, the answer to someone else's prayer. That is why divine law has chosen you. Take one more breath. In through faith, out through gratitude. You are complete. Now listen in the quiet. You may sense something, a warmth, a tingling, a certainty that wasn't there before. That is the shift. That is the moment your inner world and outer world touch. The seed of your decree has sprouted. The manifestation moment is never loud. It is subtle, serene, sovereign. It happens quietly but changes everything. So from this moment forward, walk not in waiting, but in witnessing. Watch how quickly the pieces align. The call, the opportunity, the divine surprise. They will appear naturally, as though they were always scheduled for today. For indeed they were. The hour has ended, and the law has fulfilled itself. You are no longer asking for $1 million blessing. You are living inside it. It breathes with you, speaks through you, blesses through you. You have become the embodiment of divine prosperity. You have proven that faith, gratitude, and divine law never fail. Say one final affirmation, with reverence and joy. I am one with the infinite supply of God. The $1 million miracle is complete. I rest in divine satisfaction, knowing that it is done. Pause, smile, feel it. Because it is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled. And before this hour ends, beloved, you shall see with your own eyes what your faith has already created. Under grace, in perfect ways. So it is. Beloved, be still for a moment longer. Something holy is happening within you. The air has changed. The silence around you has become alive, filled with divine presence, filled with peace. You have walked through every stage of faith, the speaking, the preparing, the giving, the thanking, the receiving. And now you stand in the sacred stillness of completion. This is the final seal. Florence Scovel Shinn said, no man can fail if he does not give up, for victory is born in persistence. But your persistence has turned to peace. You are no longer pushing the law, you are flowing with it. The work is done. The decree is sealed. In this holy silence, the universe has already answered. The law has already fulfilled itself. The $1 million blessing is not pending. It is proceeding. And now you rest in divine satisfaction, knowing it can no longer be withheld. Take a deep breath, beloved. Let peace wash over you. You are safe. You are supplied. You are sustained. Every cell of your being hums with divine energy. You are the embodiment of wealth, health, and grace. The spirit within you has proven its faithfulness. You are no longer the one who asks. You are the one who knows. Whisper softly. It is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled. You may not yet see the full form of your miracle, but the law does not lie. The unseen has already taken shape. The divine order is unfolding in ways beyond human reasoning. What you call coincidence is coordination. What you call chance is choreography. Your name has been written beside divine supply, and heaven does not erase. The hand of God has moved on your behalf, and no force on earth can undo it. Before this hour ends, beloved, something will shift, within or without, as proof that the divine promise has landed. It may come as peace. It may come as a message. It may come as a door opening you didn't even know existed. Whatever form it takes, recognize it. Bless it. Rejoice in it. You have not begged the universe, you have aligned with it. You have not chased money, you have magnetized it. You have not demanded proof, you have become it. Florence said, "When man can wish without worrying, every desire will be instantly fulfilled." That is who you are now, a soul that wishes without worry, a being that trusts divine timing more than human effort. Say aloud now, with reverence and finality, "I am one with the law of good. I am eternally supplied. I give thanks that my $1,000,000 blessing is now visible. I rest in divine peace, knowing that my word has been fulfilled." And so you leave this sacred hour not as a seeker, but as a manifester. Not as one who waits, but as one who walks in proof. For the divine law cannot fail. It never has, it never will. From this moment forward, every step you take, every thought you think, every word you speak will echo this truth: I am rich in divine supply. The tide of heaven now flows permanently through your life, through your mind, through your home, through your finances, through your destiny. You are blessed beyond measure. You are guided beyond reason. You are chosen beyond doubt. The law of abundance is now sealed upon you, irrevocably, eternally, perfectly. Say it once more, beloved, the final decree: it is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled. Now breathe, smile, and walk in peace, for before this hour ends, your $1,000,000 blessing will find you, under grace in perfect ways, and so it is.
You've been saying the affirmations for months, but deep down, nothing has changed. Why? Because the words mean nothing if your belief system stays the same. You have been polishing the surface while the engine underneath remains untouched. You have been painting the walls of a house that stands on a faulty foundation. The words are the paint. Your belief system is the foundation, and a foundation of lack cannot support a reality of abundance, no matter how beautifully you paint the walls. You have been sending your words out like little paper boats into a stormy sea of contrary belief, and you wonder why they never reach the shore. Here is the truth. The law is always working. It has been working perfectly your entire life. It is not broken, and neither are you. The problem is not the law. The problem is the instruction you have been feeding it. You see, your affirmations, your spoken words, are like messengers sent to the great creative power of your subconscious mind. But your subconscious does not speak the language of words alone. It is far more ancient, more primal than that. It speaks the language of feeling, the language of imagery, the language of identity. So when you say, "I am wealthy," but your nervous system screams, "No, you are not. You have never been. You are lying," who do you think your subconscious believes? It believes the feeling. It believes the deep, cellular, historical belief. It believes the identity you have been rehearsing for years. It takes that feeling of lack, of fear, of scarcity, and it says, "Ah, this is the blueprint. This is the truth. I will now create more circumstances that match this feeling." Your words become hollow echoes in a chamber that is already vibrating with an older, stronger frequency. The great spiritual teacher Florence Scovel Shinn stated it with breathtaking clarity. She said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." Read that again. Not what he says he is receiving, not what he wishes he were receiving, but what he sees himself in the theater of his own mind, in the core of his own being, as worthy and capable of receiving. This is the missing bridge, the chasm between the words you speak and the reality you live. It is the distance between a hollow mantra and an embodied belief. Today, we are not just going to cross that bridge. We are going to become the bridge. We are going to rewire your belief system from the inside out, so that your words are no longer empty wishes, but powerful wands of creation. Let's begin. To understand how to build a new reality, you must first become a gentle, compassionate archaeologist of your current one. You must be willing to see what you have already built, without judgment, without shame, but with a clear and loving eye. Think about the area of your life where you feel the most stuck,
Let's take money, for example. You say the words, "I am a magnet for financial abundance." You write it in your journal. You might even have it on a sticky note on your laptop. It's a beautiful phrase. But let's look at the emotional reality. An unexpected expense lands in your inbox. What is the immediate visceral reaction in your body? Is it a calm knowing that all is well, that you are supported? Or is it a jolt of adrenaline, a tightening in your chest, a familiar sinking feeling of, here we go again, there's never enough? That feeling, that is your real affirmation. When you think about asking for a raise, what is the quiet, looping story in your mind? Is it, I provide immense value and I am worthy of generous compensation? Or is it a whisper of, they'll say no, I shouldn't ask for too much, I should just be grateful for what I have? That whisper, that is your true belief system at work. It's the same with love. You can affirm, I attract my perfect loving partner. But if you spend your evenings scrolling through images of other happy couples with a pang of envy, if you consistently choose partners who require you to shrink yourself, if your internal dialogue is a constant critique of your body, your personality, your worthiness, then your lived reality is a direct reflection of that inner state. Your subconscious mind, that faithful servant, is simply obeying the most consistent, most emotionally charged command it receives. It isn't listening to the pretty words you say for 5 minutes in the morning. It's listening to the 24-hour broadcast of your deepest, truest feelings about yourself and the world. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that man must be careful of his words, for they go forth into the invisible and build life and death. But this goes deeper than just spoken words. It's about the silent words you speak to yourself, the words of your body language, the words of your assumptions, the words of your reactions. These are the bricks and mortar of your reality. And here is where the power returns to you. Here is the great, illuminating moment. You are not a victim of this process. You are the master of it. You have been a master creator all along, flawlessly manifesting a reality that perfectly matches your dominant inner state. You are not broken. The law is not broken. You have simply been running an old program, an outdated blueprint handed down to you by family, by society, by past experiences. Today, you become the conscious programmer. Today, you reclaim the architect's pen. You are not trying to learn a new skill. You are simply remembering the power that has been yours all along. You are choosing, with intention, to give your faithful servant a new set of instructions. And this time, the instructions will align with the deepest desires of your soul. This is not about force. It is not about fighting with your mind. It is about rhythm. It is about gentle, persistent repatterning. We don't reprogram our minds through struggle. We reprogram them through sacred, consistent practice. I am going to give you a simple 3-step process. I call it the sacred rewiring practice. This is not a chore. This is a daily act of devotion to yourself. It is the most important meeting you will take all day. Find a quiet space, a sacred moment, morning or night. Put a hand on your heart. Breathe and begin. Step 1. The gentle witnessing. Before you can build a new house, you must see the foundation of the old one. You cannot release a belief you are not aware you are holding. So, for the first few minutes, you will simply witness. With infinite gentleness, ask yourself, what is the old, untrue story I have been living? Let it surface without judgment. Perhaps it's the story of, I have to work hard for every dollar, or good things don't last, or I am always the one who gets left behind, or I'm not qualified enough. Don't fight it. Don't wrestle with it. Just see it. Acknowledge it. Thank it even. It was a program that likely kept you safe at one point in your life. It was a shield, but you no longer need it. Now, you will consciously interrupt this loop. You are not going to leap from I am worthless to I am a magnificent goddess in one go.
The nervous system will reject that. Instead, we build a bridge of neutrality. You will speak a simple, powerful phrase aloud, something like, "I see this belief. I am willing to see this differently now." Or, "I am open to letting this pattern go." Or, "This was a story, and I am ready to write a new one." Feel the shift. It's a subtle release. You are not denying the old belief's existence. You are simply revoking its power. You are moving it from the driver's seat to the passenger seat. Step 2. The embodied affirmation. This is where we reclaim the true power of the word. Most people repeat affirmations like they are reading a grocery list. We will not do that. We will turn your affirmation into a full, felt, sensory experience. Choose one, maybe two, affirmations that speak to the new reality you are creating. Make them feel good. Make them resonate. Now, we combine the three essential elements: word, vision, and emotion. First, you say the word aloud. Let's use the example. I am divinely guided to my perfect place, my perfect work, my perfect people. Say it slowly. Let the sound of your own voice become a frequency that tunes your energy field. Second, you create the vision. Close your eyes. What does that look like? Don't just see a vague concept. See the details. See yourself walking into an office where you feel valued and alive. See yourself laughing with friends who truly see and celebrate you. See the light in your own eyes as you look in the mirror. Your subconscious mind thinks in pictures. Give it a clear, beautiful picture to work with. Third, and most importantly, you invoke the emotion. This is the fuel. This is the magic. Florence said, "You must act as if you had already received." Acting is feeling. Ask yourself, what would I feel in my body if this were already my reality? Would you feel a sense of peace in your chest? Let yourself feel that peace now. Would you feel your shoulders drop, released from a heavy burden? Let them drop now. Would you feel a quiet confidence, a solidness in your core? Breathe into that feeling now. This is not pretending. This is rehearsing. You are emotionally rehearsing your future. You are sending the most powerful signal possible to the universe and to your own subconscious. This is who I am now. This feeling is my new home. Do this for 5 minutes. Say the word, see the vision, feel the emotion. Let them merge into one seamless, powerful current of creation. Step 3. The sacred declaration. As you begin this practice, the old programming will not go quietly. It will flare up. It is the mind's last attempt to keep you in the familiar zone of what it knows. A bill will arrive, and the old panic will rise. A critical comment will be made, and the old feeling of unworthiness will surface. This is a critical moment. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the work is working. The old shadows are coming up to be cleared by the new light. In this moment, you do not shrink. You do not spiral. You speak back. You use what Florence called your word of power. You consciously, audibly override the old frequency. The old thought comes, "See? It's not working. You'll never have enough." You speak back, out loud if you can, with quiet conviction. "Every channel is clear. Every plan succeeds. I am divinely supplied with all that I require." The old feeling surfaces. "I'm not good enough for that opportunity." You speak back, anchoring yourself in the truth. "I am a perfect idea in the divine mind, and I now manifest my perfect self. My talent is in demand." This is not a battle. It is a redirection. Florence taught that the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Man's thoughts, deeds, and words return to him sooner or later with astounding accuracy. When you speak back to the fear, you are catching the old boomerang of lack and consciously throwing out a new one of faith and abundance. You are training your mind, with loving firmness, to obey a new authority, your conscious, awakened self. As you commit to this practice, be gentle with yourself.
You are planting seeds in soil that was once hard and rocky. It takes time for the roots to take hold. There will be a period where your inner world is shifting profoundly, but your outer world has not yet caught up. This is the most sacred and often most challenging phase of transformation. Do not lose faith here. Think of it like flipping a great circuit breaker in the basement of your mind. For a moment, the old lights flicker and go out. There might be a period of seeming darkness or confusion before the new, brilliant, steady light comes on. That flickering is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the rewiring is happening. The old reality was built over decades. Be patient as you build the new one over days and weeks. The discomfort you feel is the friction of transformation. The moments of doubt are the death throes of an old identity that no longer serves you. Stay the course. Every time you choose to witness the old story without believing it, you loosen its grip. Every time you embody the feeling of your new reality, you strengthen its foundation. Every time you speak back to fear with faith, you reclaim another piece of your sovereign power. You are not just attracting things, a new job, more money, a relationship. You are building something far more profound. You are building a new identity. You are shifting from a woman who hopes for the best to a woman who expects and allows the best. You are shifting from a woman who chases approval to a woman who is the source of her own approval. You are shifting from a woman who operates from fear and lack to a woman who knows, deep in her bones, that she is the beloved, worthy, and magnificently supplied creator of her own life. This is the real work. The outer world will always reshape itself around this inner shift. It has no other choice. It is the law. So, here is the truth, and here is the choice. The truth is, you are not broken. You have never been. You are not a flawed student of spiritual law, struggling to get it right. You are a master of it, who is simply waking up to her own immense, innate power. The affirmations didn't fail you. The words were just waiting for you to fill them with the breath of true belief, with the light of inner vision, with the pulse of genuine feeling. Your word is your wand, as Florence taught. But it only holds magic when you wield it with the full conviction of your heart, with the steadfast faith of your soul, with the unshakable trust in who you truly are. The choice now is yours. Will you continue to speak hollow words into a system that is programmed for an old reality? Or will you begin the sacred rhythmic work of rewiring your very being to become a vibrational match for the miracles that are already waiting for you? This is your moment of reclamation. I invite you to make a declaration, not just to me, but to yourself, to the universe. Let this be the moment your shift begins. Go to the comments and declare the old belief you are now ready to release and the new truth you are choosing to embody in its place. This is not just a comment. This is a contract with your soul. Your words have power. Your choice has power. Your feeling has power. What new truth are you choosing to feel, to see, and to become, starting right now?